Hello and welcome to episode 19 of season 2 of the Jumping the Rail podcast. This is Mark Rebin coming to you from Champaign, Illinois. And we got the whole team back together today. We got the bearded dragon, Gary Vasilio, is back with us today.
Yay.
And as
Jazz
always,
hands.
thrilled to be here. Jazz hands, yeah. And then we got Menders with us again. Menders, how you doing?
I'm hanging in
Still,
there.
still
Still
hobbling
gimping
around, I
around.
know.
Yep, still hobbling around.
What'd you
And hey, I
do?
saw the video.
Oh, Gary didn't know.
Oh, you don't know. Oh, Gary doesn't
I-
follow us on socials, so
I broke my foot
So-
2 weeks ago.
Oh,
So I'm on crutches and in a wheelchair. It's good times.
yeah. Apparently I had a fracture at one point and it formed a bone spur. And then that rubbed on a tendon and my whole foot was jacked up for like a few months because it was
yeesh.
just did not want to calm down. And feet
Angry
stuff,
foot.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark
Yeah,
got to
but
see me on my
not-
crutches last night. I sent him
Yeah.
sent him a video of me hopping along.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Some people
So,
some people enjoy feet stuff. Cough cough Tony Atlas, cough cough, but that's not the kind of stuff we're talking about.
No.
I saw he's on the new season of Beyond, well, no, not
Dark
Beyond the
Side.
Mat.
Dark side of the ring.
Dark Side of the Ring, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Well,
brought
they'll
him
probably
back.
get into the feet.
Oh, Tony.
Yes. Oh boy, Saba Simba indeed. So
Yeah.
we got a quite a bit to talk about. We're on the heels of the big draft this past weekend for WWE. I'm sure we all have opinions, what they did wrong, what they could have done better, and I guess the obvious thing for me, Roman goes number one, no surprise. I wish Cody would have gone on the same show as Roman.
I mean, they can still do that. He's not going to get the new
They
belt
can.
either.
I don't think he will.
He won't.
But
He won't get the new belt. Something will happen. I think Brock will screw him on it. I think this whole thing with Brock is going to take us to. I hope he doesn't. I hope Roman doesn't hold that belt past Mania. I don't want him to hold it till Mania, but they're
I got a
talking
feeling
now
he's
about
gonna.
wanting to break Hogan's record. So I mean, I don't know who. How many people are you just going to feed to the paper shredder that is Roman Reigns?
Oh, it's almost to the point where they got to start recycling people. I don't know who. Off the top
Well,
of my
they
head, I can't
already.
remember who I went to.
Well, they had so
I've
many
got the.
people. They had so many people lose almost clean, if not clean, to him. So it's just,
There's one
Oh.
that didn't.
yeah,
But of
Yep,
course
there's
he's on
one
the other
guy.
show.
yeah.
Right. So he'll. I think he's the guy that wins the new belt.
I
Once
do
Seth
too.
Franklin or Seth freaking Rollins. I've been listening
That's
to Cornette
Franklin.
today, and
I don't.
so
I don't know about because I heard Drew was unhappy, so I wouldn't be shocked if they gave it to Drew for a while.
Drew. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I like Drew.
It
Well,
could come
yeah,
down between Seth and Drew, and I'd be happy. Let those two go at it.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre is what JR would refer to as a blue chipper. Like the dude is
Yes.
a giant Scotsman. I'm secure in my manhood enough. Dude's handsome, just jacked out of his mind. Has a different look than most people, and can
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
and can cut a promo. If they don't make him do the stupid baby face promo, like
I was.
he's
I
got
was
it
gonna say.
all. So I don't understand why he's not. And he led them through that COVID era where it was just.
Yeah.
So I think he deserves a little bit of a shine.
hmm If he doesn't win the title, I think he needs to go heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
We have a
that
friend
way,
in the
if
chat.
oh, do we? Is it one of our? Hello, Bari, my friend. He's our sometimes substitute co-host. Jabari Sinclair is in the comments there, so I'm sure he'll have some takes along with us because we talk about this shit all the time, Menders,
We do.
as it happens. Uh,
We do.
so one thing that threw me off is all of the free agents that they announced that right now are going between shows, which I'm guessing is just because they don't know quite yet where they want to put them at.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock is the one they made a point of saying is just can come and go as he pleases because of his contract, which doesn't surprise me. He's the
It's
biggest
Brock,
attraction they
yeah.
got. Omos surprised me that they made him a free agent, that he's going back and forth. But that kind of goes on the Andre territory. He's the giant, So, but yeah, the big picks on Friday SmackDown. Roman obviously. I'm gonna say I'll start with going to SmackDown. You got Roman and Bianca, Edge, Lashley, AJ's back, so the OC's going to SmackDown, and then they called up the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, who I'm a big fan of. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, that's the one. That's probably the thing I don't get the most is they called them up and then that same night had them tag match for the championships, and then like the next night on TV, they call up the other team that was going to go
Right.
for the NXT.
Yeah, they announced the
championship.
match last Tuesday before the draft even started, and then both teams got drafted. So I don't know what's going to happen with that.
So dumb.
I'm surprised Breaker didn't go.
I'm
but-
not. Rick
I'll tell you
screwed it
what-
up for him.
Yeah.
Rick
Oh, you
screwed
think
it
so?
up for him. I do.
It could be. It could be.
I think Dad screwed it up for him.
I'll tell you what I was surprised. I thought that they would announce Waller on the air on TV, not do it on Raw Talk after the show was
Grayson
over.
Waller went.
Yeah.
Waller got drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah.
But he was literally the last pick they announced on Raw Talk.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to start making cuts again though too. So like,
I won't be
I'm
surprised.
wondering.
I was surprised about Cameron Grimes going to SmackDown. We haven't
Yeah, that
seen
was a
him in a
pleasant-
while on NXT.
That was a pleasant surprise.
That
yeah.
was a very pleasant surprise.
I figured he would have been called up months ago.
I think he was
should have
supposed to. I think he might have been hurt. So
Oh.
I think they had to wait for him.
That dude's. Well, I mean, the only thing holding him back is maybe size.
Yeah.
He's not-
Maybe, but he's got the charisma of a man twice his height.
Well, he's a great worker too, and
Oh yeah.
dynamic promo. And
Oh yeah. Second generation guy. I wonder if they'll keep the same gimmick on him, or if they'll change him
I
up.
hope not. I want him to change it.
You don't like the To the Moon stuff?
No, I'm not a fan.
I like how he came up when he had the top hat and the. He was
At
like
first,
the,
it was fine, but as it's gone on, I've gotten sick of it.
right.
When he won all the money from GameStop or whatever, it's like,
That
ugh.
was a topical storyline at the time.
At the time,
from
At the
what I
time.
understand, he actually did make quite a bit off of him. Like that was.
Was that was a shoot?
That
oh
was,
wow, okay.
that was a shoot they turned into an angle that he made
Wow.
quite a bit. Like he actually
I'll be
did
darned.
invest in GameStop and pulled out just the right time and made quite a bit. And so they're like, oh, well,
Well,
we're not really doing anything with you, so let's
Right.
just use this. Ted DiBiase
Dust off the $1 million
just hangs
belt.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Raw picks last night. Just go hit the highlights. Rhea was first overall last night, which I thought was a good call. I know
That
it
didn't
means they're
surprise
gonna.
me at all. Are they
No,
doing a
but
belt swap or what's going to
They're
happen?
gonna. I think they're doing the belt swap again. I don't like it, but I mean it's not that big of a deal to me. Just because the belts aren't. There's not one better than the other, so it's literally just
Yeah.
swapping out two different pairs of shoes.
So
So
you got Rhea, Charlotte, and Asuka all on SmackDown.
No,
Rhea's on Raw. Rhea's on
Bianca.
Raw.
Bianca's going
Bianca.
to SmackDown
Yeah.
Okay.
with Asuka.
Bianca,
Right?
Asuka,
Is
Charlotte.
that right?
Yeah, so SmackDown for the women's division, get Bianca, let me see, Damage Control, which it is what it is, and Alba and Isla from NXT, Charlotte, Living, they're on Raw, Asuka,
I was looking. I pulled one up here
Shotzi.
to see if I
Man,
could.
you know what?
Shot-
Bless Kevin Patrick's heart for trying to make Shotzi seem like a big deal when she got drafted. You know,
Shitsy?
he tried.
Shitsy?
And then
Okay.
and I think that's all the big ones that were announced on TV. Then on Saturday morning, I'm trying to see who all got picked here.
I'm excited about Imperium going to Raw.
Yes, me too. Let me Let me see.
But then I kind of figured when that happened that
Yeah, I think
Theory
that's
was
all
going
the.
to SmackDown.
Yeah, it's kind of made sense. I could almost see Theory staying on Raw, but then dropping the belt to Lashley because Lashley's going to SmackDown, so he could have taken the belt with him.
He could have.
But yeah, then some of the other the NXT. At first, I was worried. It seemed like they were taking all the big hitters from NXT because they took let's see, let's say Indy. They took Alba and Isla, who were two of their champions. They took Zoe Stark, Apollo Crews, JD McDonough, Von Wagner, and uh, and the one I was actually excited about is Pretty Deadly going to SmackDown.
I was too. I
That
was
should be
too.
interesting. I also like Indus Sher going to Raw. Veer and what's his name and Jinder are going up to Raw.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I like them as a tag team, though. So that's why I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, Odyssey Jones too, by the way, going to Raw.
I was super surprised to see Odyssey. Honestly, that
Yeah.
shocked me, especially when you're sitting there thinking Breaker didn't go, and I was
No.
like, Breaker's
No
not
Breaker, no
going.
Mello,
No Mello. Okay.
No Waller. I think was the blue chipper from NXT that went up. Him and Zoe.
Yeah,
But,
I was excited to see Zoe go, and well, I still call her Casey Catanzaro, but
right,
Katana, whatever.
Yeah.
I was surprised they went up. I was like, wait, what?
I was a little surprised by that.
I mean,
if Cameron Grimes is gonna, if size is gonna be an issue for Cameron Grimes, I can't imagine for Katana because she's
right.
She's a little thing.
Little, teeny.
But also very talented, though.
Yeah.
Just devil's
very
advocate.
Athletic. Yeah, very athletic.
Seems like they're gonna put the way back together on Raw because they got Johnny and Candice and Dexter and Indy all up there.
Yeah. At least Austin won't be in it this time.
Right.
And he can get away from that. So
yeah, he kind of dodged the bullet.
Yeah, he did.
Dolph Ziggler's a free agent. I guess that means he's gonna put everybody over.
I was more surprised about Baron Corbin being a free agent.
Dolph and Baron are just gonna start parking cars and
popping popcorn.
Yeah, just.
Oh my goodness. We
Yeah,
can all breathe a sigh of relief, by the way. Otis and the Maximum Male Models will be on the same show.
Yay. I was surprised they didn't break up Bloodline and Judgment Day, though. I was real surprised.
I'm surprised they didn't break up anybody.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to break up. I thought they were going to break up New Day for sure.
You think so?
I thought they were, but they didn't. They sent them both. They sent Woodsy and Kofi together.
Yeah, they still haven't picked Biggie. I think he's on the shelf still, so they didn't bother wasting a pick on him.
Yeah.
I mean, they kept teasing tag teams could be split up, factions be split up. They didn't split up anybody.
Well, yeah.
I figured they'd at least split up the Street Profits.
They made a big deal about sending factions as a group.
Yeah,
somehow
the majority of the picks were groups of people like LWO and Judgment Day and all of them. I mean, Zayn and Owens make sense. They're the tag champs, so they got to go.
Yeah.
But that makes me wonder what they're going to do about the tag titles, though. If they're only going to be on Raw, then SmackDown's going to want their tag titles back, I would imagine, right?
Well, I mean, it seems like H has decided to not have just one set of belts, so.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get into that too.
I know you don't like that.
I don't like splitting up the belt, but the belt mark in me thinks it's a really cool looking belt, though.
I'm not a belt mark.
Look at that.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
that is a beautiful piece of gold right there.
It reminds you of the old Big Gold.
It does,
a little bit of upgrade, a little bit of modernization.
Yeah, they still got the side plates on the sides there for the custom plates that they put on for everybody.
The only thing I would have done different if I were Triple H is I wouldn't have just said, "Hey Roman, I'm making a new belt and you're going to." I would have made Roman choose. Told him I was stripping him of one and made him choose where he went. And then you can have a little bit of a, because they've kind of laid some groundwork where Triple H is kind of being snide about Judgment Day,
That'd be
and that could have just been, more of a, because you make Roman come out and you say, hand me one of those. You pick.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
would prefer they just do away with the Universal and just go back to being WWE
yeah,
Heavyweight Champion.
but I would have created that. I would have still had that new belt. And I would have put, then see, that's what, then once he hands you that belt and you're like, okay, well, you chose SmackDown. And he's like, yeah, that's my show. And then it's like, well, this is the new belt for the world. And that would have brought out that big, new, beautiful belt and have him just
salivate.
And it's like, if you would have came to Raw,
you would have got this.
You would have had this.
But you chose SmackDown.
Yeah, Paul was drooling a little bit last night when he came out. Just looking at that
he
belt.
was.
But this opens up a door for something that excites me, though. I know it won't happen, but it makes me think, Gary, about the All Japan Triple Crown.
Yeah,
they could conceivably have their own Triple Crown in WWE now if they wanted to.
3 belts.
3 belts, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean, they could have done it with NXT too, but no, they're keeping this separate. I've been listening. Dave LaGreca on Busted Open's been losing his mind over this, how bad it is, how Cody should have won at Mania, all this stuff. Good old Dave.
Good old Dave.
I don't think that he needs, like I've said before, I think wrestling falls into that wormhole sometimes of, if we didn't create it, it doesn't exist.
Right.
And Cody being gone on his own accord, starting AEW, doing all the things he's done, coming back, being so hot, and then tearing his pec and fighting through it. I think that was enough. I don't think you have to make him go through a bunch of other stuff. And quite frankly, you don't even have to have him hold the belt that long. In fact, you could have gave it back to Roman for all I care, with the help of Brock Lesnar or whatever, and then you screwed him. But at least you gave the fans that moment, and then that makes them salivate for him to get it back. But him getting just screwed and then not even getting a rematch.
What if Cody had won at Mania, then lost the next night on Raw?
Yeah, that would have been fine with me.
I would have got some very good heat out of that one. And
yeah,
Cody still got to finish his story, but he's still going through the hard times, like Dusty did.
Yeah.
My question is, the thing that crossed my mind listening to LaGreca blow his stack for the last month about Cody losing at Mania. Everybody's assuming that Cody's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
He better not.
I think in my opinion, that's not finishing his story. I think his story has evolved. It's not the belt anymore. It's Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, Roman is bigger than those 2 belts that he's carrying around.
Yeah.
So I think Roman is the mountaintop right now.
Yeah, Roman will get busy probably with AJ or somebody for a while, and then they'll end up. AJ? And then I don't know if you have Cody go back-to-back years winning the Rumble, or if you have him win Elimination Chamber or something, get him back into the Mania picture.
I would have him win the Rumble, but I'd have him win for number 1. Because it seemed really flat to me that he won coming out at number 30 at the Rumble this year. You didn't get the struggle from Cody during the build-up was so short between the Rumble and Mania. I think if he hadn't gotten hurt, they could have built that. They probably would have started at SummerSlam and moved and started building from there.
Yeah.
But, it just seemed rushed to me to have him win at Mania this year, so I'm glad they didn't do it.
Another thought, what about a Money in the Bank type situation?
Oh, well, yeah, I forgot about Money in the Bank.
You could always do Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Almost, I hate to even suggest it, but have him do like Seth did. Hold on to the thing until WrestleMania, then cash in. Or make the announcement, cash in beforehand and say, this is what I want. I don't know. I just think that whoever wins that pretty belt, and I know it shouldn't be Cody, and Mark, you and I kind of talked about this, it's a consolation prize. If Cody wins it, it's a consolation prize.
If Cody wins, it's a consolation trophy. But if it's
a
anybody else, it's
participation
not.
trophy. Right.
What they could do, if say Cody does win that title, then whoever wins Money in the Bank, whether, and I'm trying to think who it would be from the heel side, maybe the Miz, just as an example. If the
What
Miz
about LA
cashed in on
Knight?
Cody, LA Knight's on SmackDown.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But no, say like, I'm just using the Miz as a hypothetical. If he cashed in on Cody and took that title from him, then you got Cody back on the struggle again. And then
Yeah.
the thing I keep coming back to is WrestleMania 26, Shawn and Taker. It was it was the second match. The first match was at 25, and then starting at the end of that year, Michaels kept trying to get Taker into a rematch because he wanted to end the streak. That was his white whale.
Yeah.
And finally, he got Taker to agree to the match, but still lost anyway. They could do something very similar with Cody and Roman at this point.
Well, I
So
mean,
even
you
if
could
Cody
always.
doesn't win the Rumble, he could still do that, just kind of get in his head a little bit. And
Well, I mean, you could always have Cody like find a way to become a free agent himself.
Yeah.
And be bouncing between shows and, just win a match with a stipulation or something that he can go anywhere he
Right.
wants.
I had a convoluted idea, Gary. Do you remember the collusion scandal from Major League Baseball in the 80s?
No.
It was like 86, I think, and the owners colluded to like lowball the big talent free agents so they'd stay with their team. That's why Dawson went to the Cubs for like the league minimum and won the MVP. I thought they could have done, and it doesn't make sense now because Cody went on the first night. If Heyman had like conspired with, say, SmackDown to not pick Cody,
Yeah.
so he would go to Raw, but then if that got discovered, then Pierce could say, okay, yeah, Cody, you're a free agent because there was collusion, and then that could get him to Roman. But the way that the draft played out, that wouldn't work. But I overthink things, so that's where my brain goes.
I think we all overthink things, but we're all like, we could have done
I
this
think
better.
it's an epidemic, overthinking. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you both on the spot. Who do you think needs to be the first World Heavyweight Champion on Monday Night Raw?
I said it earlier. I think Seth.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
I mean
Seth are true.
Well, I look at Seth, and you think of how many times, and I'm taking some of this from a friend of ours, AJ, had said in the chat we were having earlier. How many times, how hard Seth works. He can work with anybody. He can put anybody over with still going over. And I really think to make that belt relevant, you're going to have to put it on Seth, which is right now the hugest babyface on Raw. I mean, I know there's Cody, but I don't feel like everybody's behind them though yet. I mean, I know they're cheering him and things like that, but I don't think everybody's behind him, especially since he lost at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think the thing that has to happen is it has to go on somebody that Roman hasn't beat yet.
Right. And he hasn't beat Seth.
That's the thing and Seth has not lost to Roman. He won by DQ the Rumble last year. And I think that's almost seems like that's what they're building to for Mania next year is Seth and Roman. Just from that exchange between Paul and Seth last night.
I'd be perfectly fine with that, honestly. I wouldn't mind seeing it again, and I feel like those two could go toe to toe, and you're not going to have, and it could go either way. They can make you believe that it's not going to be quote unquote predetermined, but
right,
I'll
do you one better. I'll bet Seth can pull a decent match out of Omos on Saturday.
Probably.
One can only hope.
Because Seth's going to bump like $1 million for him.
Well,
around all over the place.
A broken watch is right twice a day, Mark.
Oh, I know. I have a broken clock on my wall back behind me that has not worked in probably 20 years. But it's a family heirloom, so I keep it up on the wall.
Yeah.
But so I think it's overall kind of unanimous that Seth pretty much is the choice, but Drew is right up there.
Yeah.
Because Drew deserves to get that moment with the fans where he gets something.
I think maybe they'll have Drew take the belt off of Gunther and have Seth win the big belt, and then maybe Drew and Seth at Mania. I think they'll have Gunther take the belt back off of Drew or something like that, because I don't think he's quite ready for the main event run. I mean, he's good, but I just don't think they're looking at him to.
I think as soon as he drops that IC title, he's gonna be right in that main event picture for the world title.
Yeah,
But
oh,
yeah, I can see them waiting to pull the trigger on Gunther with the world title though. Although can you imagine the dancing we'll see from Gunther if he wins the title, Minders?
If it's as creepy as what his wedding dancing was, I'm scared. That was so
Yeah,
scary.
I was not used to seeing the pictures and all that stuff online yesterday. I'm not used to seeing Gunther enjoy life or experience joy,
Right?
so it was kind of unsettling.
It was. It was a little unsettling.
Bari
But I'm
chiming in. Seth is the only guy that makes sense to belt. I didn't think you use
yeah.
belt as a verb. There you go. Sounds good.
Bari does all the time. I'm used to it.
Yes. All right.
But
I got one more topic I want to get into before we get into the big fantasy draft that we're going to do today, which was very exciting. I can tell Gary's very excited about it. But going to AEW for a minute. So
do we have to?
The land of
we'll keep
the land of I told you so.
pretty much. First off, 35,000 tickets sold already in the pre-show for Wembley, which is pretty impressive. It's already their highest grossing show. It sounds like Tony's shooting for 90 when the tickets go on sale to the general public on Friday, which I don't know. I hope he does it just because, you want to see everybody succeed and everything. But if they do, they got to have a card to back it up, which is where I'm
Exactly.
wondering if what they're going
That's the problem.
that's neither here. I just wanted to throw that out there. But then the other thing I wanted to mention is with the fiasco that was the Adam Cole, Britt Baker, Jericho segment the week before last with the handcuffs and everything, and Britt got tuned up by the Outcasts. I can tell Menders, I think you threw up in your mouth a little bit at
A
that
little
one.
bit. A little
But
bit.
so the next week, Paige, I keep saying Paige, it's Soraya. That's her real name.
It's Paige,
Soraya and
it's
Tony and Ruby they were sporting a new T-shirt last Wednesday. And here it is. You see the aforementioned tuned up Britt Baker there with the black eye and everything. And I have to wonder if that's, and I know the AEW diehards know what happened, like the explanation for the picture.
Oh, there's
How do
people
you wear that
complaining
shirt out
about
in
it.
public and explain that to somebody who doesn't know wrestling or doesn't watch AEW?
I don't know.
It just
I
it just
mean, you
seems
could.
like they'll put anything on a T-shirt these days in AEW. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
well, but, yeah, exactly, Mark.
Big drink.
I'm working on a
But
new one. I'm hoping it gets approved.
well, the last one that she had, the last one Brit that I remember of Brit's was the one where she had the blood dripping down her face from the tooth and nails match or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like I guess this is kind of her go-to. I don't know.
She's almost the hardcore chick in AEW, but even so, that picture looks like a shot that you would like the police would take in a domestic violence investigation for their files. So yeah, to Joe Sixpack who doesn't watch professional wrestling, I gotta wonder what their opinion would be if they saw somebody walk around with that T-shirt on. And
kind of, it kind of reminds me a little bit like if she were like flipping off the camera, they could have really pulled off the Johnny Cash photo with that.
Oh yeah,
And that would have been, I think that would have sold more, like her just with the black eye kind of flipping off the camera and, basically, screw you guys, I'm still here type thing. I think that would have worked much better than just the black eye picture.
Yeah, that leaves too much room for judgment and criticism. And Menders, you and I know we're both T-shirt marks and everything like that, but yeah, it just seems like they'll put anything on a T-shirt in AEW these days.
You think?
I do, especially whenever Jericho trips on a new catchphrase, and that winds up.
You're making my head hurt, Mark.
Well, I think
I'm
it's just
sorry.
like, I think that market is so. It used to be you had to print X amount of shirts, and now that market is more of like a
Saturated.
boutique market.
Yeah.
So like, if somebody's like, oh well, we want a bunch of these shirts. Well, you have places that will just print you that many.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they do it. It's pretty win-win, I would imagine at this point. They're not paying a whole lot because I mean, pro wrestling tees or wherever they get them or subsidiaries, or they're making tons of shirts all the time. So they're, it's not like they're just. I think that's probably where they're at, because you see WWE selling way more shirt, like different varieties. It used to be one guy would have one shirt, unless you were Austin or Rock. Every time they come back, they have a different shirt. Most
Cena.
Everybody, yeah, Cena,
Cena.
a different color.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing.
The
Different
whole
color.
rainbow.
Same shirt. Same shirt, but just purple.
Right. This one has the Boston Celtics logo on it.
Ah.
But we'll make it green.
Same move set, but with a salute. It's
Yes.
that's John Cena.
I'll do a stunner off the ropes. That'll be different.
It'll sure be something.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes. So, keeping on the "I told you so" tip, Gary, did you see CM Punk was at Impact this past week?
Yeah, well, I was in Chi-Town, so.
Yeah, he's kind of making the rounds. He visited WWE when Raw was in Chicago. Then Impact on Friday. He's just kind of go visiting everybody.
From what I understand, from what I saw, there's going to be a new show on Saturdays, like a 2-hour AEW show, and the first
sounds like it's going in the old Saturday night slot, the old WCW Saturday night.
It's going to emanate from Chicago.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. So,
but I know it's supposed to be like revolve around Punk, and like he's going to have a separate roster of AEW talent on that show. So the split rosters is catching on like wildfire in professional wrestling.
Well, I mean, Punk could show up in London, but you would figure though you wouldn't want to make him showing up there a secret, because you would want to use him to sell tickets.
No, they should have announced him for London like last week before tickets went on sale.
Yeah,
they don't even have to say what match he has, but if he's there, he's going to be in the main event. Whether it's Jericho or if it's Omega or if it's the trios match we always talk about, the Elite and FTR and Punk. Well, they had their meeting behind closed doors and I guess fleshed out all their issues. So
that was the meeting that happened a year ago.
Yeah, but Jericho has
when they said, "Hey, want to do this angle?" Yeah.
Well, when Jericho finds somebody that's got a little juice, he's got to suck the juice right out.
Yep.
He's trying it with Adam Cole now. He's gonna try when Punk comes back.
Well, I know
he hasn't taken a shot at Wardlow.
I mean, I noticed Action Andretti didn't quite go as far as they wanted. I don't know if he got hurt or what happened, but
I think he's just.
I know they were trying.
Dark.
Yeah.
Well, Starks is tied up with Jay White now.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks has a chance to be something. He's got a lot of charisma, and he's good in the ring and can cut a promo.
Has a nice smackable face. Yeah, it's great.
I just don't know where he goes. Like, I don't know what belt. Seems like Hook's never going to lose even the FTW title.
They need to retire that thing.
I forget there is one because, well,
now he's hanging out with the Hardys now, so I don't know when he's going to defend that belt again. But I
Jeff.
said Stark should have been TNT champion 2 years ago.
I agree.
Just because he was TV champion in the NWA before he got to AW.
Now it would
That's
be
kind
nice
of
to
his
see him.
wheelhouse.
It'd be nice to see him get that intercontinent, whatever the hell they're calling
International.
it. Yeah, that one. Let him go after
Have him
that
beat
one.
Pockets.
Please, dear Lord,
Because
somebody
Pockets
beat Pockets.
Because they're killing every credible challenger by having them job out to Pockets every week.
Sorry,
They did it with
Orange
Lethal, they did it
Cassidy,
with
for
Jarrett.
those that don't know.
Yeah, our little
Orange
dog Pockets,
Cassidy.
as Jim Cornette calls them.
Our little dog Pockets.
Because he beat Bandito last week in a pretty good match. Bandito was really good. Beat Lethal, beat Jarrett, beat Buddy Matthews. All of these people could have easily wiped them out with Orange Cassidy.
Buddy Matthews' match with him was actually really good. I
Well,
actually
it was.
stomached
Honestly,
that one.
I couldn't stand him to begin with, but like his work in the ring isn't bad.
No,
It's not bad at
trained him.
all. And
It's the
well, no,
gimmick.
Quackenbush trained him.
yeah,
It's the gimmick I hate.
the gimmick has come along a little bit. I mean, he's way more aggressive in the ring now. Like he does show like emotion at times. Yeah, I wish he would show a little bit more. But I don't know if you're ever going to get him totally stripped of that gimmick. 'Cause that's kind of what makes him.
It's too over.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, Con.
Yeah, it's just
He's kind of like their version, I think, right now of John Cena. Like he is like you see a lot of kids in the audience dressed like Orange Cassidy. And so I'm guessing that's a big seller for toys and merchandise and for kids. And so I think that's probably why he's getting the run, and you're not going to change his gimmick too much. So
I just hope he's not the guy that they picked to beat MJF.
no.
I hate you.
Although
right now.
the MJF promos on Orange Cassidy would be.
Can we please have that? Can we please have that at least? I would take that. I would be.
Oh, by the way,
content.
Tony Schiavone calls MJF a prick on the stage on Wednesday. Why didn't MJF just go and knock the hell out of him?
Please, that'd been great. I mean, it would have been great.
That's what as the champion, that's what he should have done. He's the top heel in the company. If old timey announcer Tony calls him a prick, he should have knocked him on his ass.
Yeah.
For maximum heat.
Yes.
And I like Tony.
I think MJF should be a little bit more like a shit heel than he is.
Oh,
like
chicken shit, you mean?
Yeah. So, like, I think he should have went, and then I think Tony should have squared up with him, and then MJF kind of backed off.
or Lois come out.
Yeah. But, like, because, like,
mess with Lois.
He's just, like, he always has a great promo, and he's got a great character, and he protects the business wherever he's at, which is great.
No, Minders knows.
I know firsthand how well he protects the business.
Oh, did you stand in line for him, or?
I did. Actually, I didn't stand in line very long for him because I timed it right and the line had kind of cleared out.
Yeah.
But I had him sign. I took it down. I had him sign a T-shirt for me that said "I heart heels" from our website.
Yeah.
Or JTR, and I handed it to him. I said, "Would you sign this for me?" And he says, "I heart heels." I don't get it. I was like, "Okay." And then he like signs it, and instead of throwing it at me, he handed it to me, which I was impressed with. But I did wear a Jim Cornette shirt, so to get out of that.
Yeah.
But the people in front of me had a baby with them.
Yeah.
And the baby started crying.
Yeah.
He yelled back at the kid, and then told them that they shouldn't have brought their baby in there. Oh, it was great. It was so much fun.
That went viral. Somebody got that on video.
Yeah, I have it. But it was so fun.
And then when
there was a guy in a wheelchair.
I saw the video.
Yeah, there was a guy in the wheelchair that the guys or MJF goes, "Come on, Hot Wheels, hurry it up." It was so much fun.
Yeah, I think he needs another.
Throw him.
Yeah,
I think he needs a little bit of a layer of just kind of being a coward more, just to protect. Yeah. I think he should have the belt for a while, but I think that where he needs to become like a paranoid, like coward, that just runs at every opportunity just to hold on to his belt because he just feels it slipping away. Because
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, it becomes one dimensional. It's
It's going
just
to
him
become like
being a
Roman,
heel.
where he just runs through
Yeah.
everybody.
I would like for when Punk comes back, at first he plays nice, and then one day, it breaks down between him and Omega or something, and they're just kind of can't do it anymore. And then FTR comes out to help break it up. The Bucks come out to come break it up. They have their I wouldn't mind like all them joining up with MJF, even to just because MJF hates the AEW originals more than they do, probably. So
He seems to.
it only makes sense where it's just like you have a bunch of people is like, well, we hate these guys because they don't use their potential. They're just, or like, I'm not saying, the Blackpool Combat Club is basically that right now. Daniel Bryan is making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He's the only one in that group that's making any
And-
sense right now.
And then you got Moxley.
Yeah,
just
then you got
hits
Plumber
things.
Moxley
He just hits stuff, which
and bleeds. That's it. That's all he does.
Yeah.
Hey, John Moxley has hit stuff well for. He's like the
He's made a good living out of hitting stuff.
he's like the shoveler of AEW. If you ever seen Mystery Men, otherwise you don't get that
Yeah.
reference at all.
Oh, he's like a cross between the shoveler and Mr. Furious.
Yeah. He's really angry, and then
Yeah.
he forks
Aw.
people.
Yeah.
We have another listener.
Oh, do we now? Let's.
We
There's
do.
AJ. We talked about
There's AJ.
poor
We talked
Claudio
about him
fading into the
earlier.
background and that whole thing.
Did somebody take the belt off Claudio?
Yep.
Who did that?
No.
No.
Oh, that's
still
right.
champ.
Joe?
No, I thought
No, Joe's TV champion.
Joe?
Claudio-
Jericho did, but then he dropped it back to Claudio.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, Wheeler lost his belt to
Yeah, Useless lost his belt to
Useless
Shibata.
lost his belt.
Shibata.
Yeah, to Shibata.
Sorry, Utah.
Yuta. Yeah, sorry. Our bad.
Yeah, so Shibata's their pure champion. Joe's the TV champion. And Claudio's the world champion in Ring of Honor right now, which is a
Yeah,
damn
there's no-
solid crop of champions.
and there's not a new tag team champion yet. They're gonna do that
The
tournament.
Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, there is.
The
Oh,
Lucha Brothers won the ladder
Lucha
match.
Brothers.
Yeah.
They won the
Oh
ladder
yeah,
match.
where they shattered that dude's
That's the one
leg.
where.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where Dante broke his leg. Yeah. Where they should have. It should have been the Kingdom. I'm just gonna say it.
It
They
should have
should've won
been.
the belts,
I
but-
agree. It should have been the Kingdom.
Well, Dante should have been dead there. He became real
Ideally,
close.
well, not ideally, but theoretically, yes. I shouldn't say
Yeah.
ideally. That came out wrong.
Not ideally.
Yeah.
Because Dante seems like a nice kid. I don't want to see him dead.
No.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be doing.
that was
Let's.
that
I'm
was
not
one
even
of
going
the-
to get started
it was
on
one
that.
of the dumbest spots I've ever seen in my
Exactly.
entire life. And I wasn't shocked who did it.
Yeah, me
That's
neither.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
Well,
I
this is
can
the
see
same
who
tag
did it.
team that Luchasaurus almost killed Phoenix on a table a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
True.
Old
Very
Luchasaurus. You know,
true.
he's sniffing around Wardlow now, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, Dino douche. Sorry.
But he's got Christian with him now.
Yeah. That's his only redeeming quality.
Am I gonna have
right
to start
now,
putting
not
up
gonna
a-
lie.
I'm gonna have to start putting up a little caption with like these name translations.
No,
corny
as
so
long as
people that
somebody
watch know
says
what
it
we're talking about.
before. As long as somebody says
Okay.
the name before, I'm sure they can figure it out.
I mean, I like his
Okay.
newer, nastier gimmick. Like, I think it
Yeah.
works much better for him. Like, he looks more intimidating now. He
His
was
less
a
litigious
like,
mask.
he's a big dude that can move, and then like him and Wardlow could have some sort of match. Like, I just think Warlord, yeah, John Nord.
Not Warlord. Very different.
Not Warlord. Big
No.
difference.
I think John Nord could.
Yeah.
So. But no, I think Wardlow suffers kind of from he was the big man, but now there's actually big dudes. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, because Big Show had said something about like, because he just had another surgery or something, and even if it wasn't a long run, it would be good to like
To work with him,
work with
to
him, you know.
make him
But
less
that's
green.
the problem. The problem with that is Big Show is actually a big man. Like Wardlow is probably what is he like 6'5" maybe?
6'4",
Wardlow?
6'3", maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big, strong
Wardlow 5
dude.
times
Like,
quickly.
and I
I'm
think
not.
I think he's got a bright future, but he needs somebody
Yeah.
to pull that out
He's
of
got
him.
his. Yeah, I think that's why they put him with Arn to kind of help him out. But
I
Arn
think
can only do
Arn
so
was the
much,
best
though.
thing for him. I know, but I still think Arn was the best thing for him to kind of be a mouthpiece.
Yeah. On the other hand, putting fucking QT with Hobbs was just a
It's,
Barton church.
holy cow, Wardlow's only 6'2".
Really?
Yep.
Well, look at all the other people in AEW that
Right.
run around over there.
All the rest of them are 5'5", 5'6".
Compared to Adam Cole, he's 7'4".
Right.
And 500 pounds.
Yeah.
The incredible shrinking Cole.
I don't understand that.
Like
you had all that time off just to work out, basically, because you couldn't do anything else.
I
Well, now that Roddy's there, maybe he can kind of get him back in the gym.
I don't know.
I was surprised by that.
Like,
I was
caught me off
pleasantly
guard.
surprised.
I was too.
Don't get me wrong. I understand that all four of those guys are top-notch professional wrestlers. I've just never really liked any of them. Roddy is probably the one I like the most. And Cole is good, and he's by far the best character-wise and on the mic. But, man, it's just...
Oh, I loved Kyle.
It's
I
hard.
love Kyle.
It's hard to keep suspending disbelief, like where you got a guy that, small.
Yeah.
And I know that people, like, wrestlers get mad. It's like, well, no, it's just, man, like, eventually you do have to listen to because Lord knows I don't love giant dudes either, because half of them can't move. Like, Omos doesn't do anything.
Right.
And
he's getting better,
I mean,
though. He did good with Brock.
Yeah. I mean, Big Show was, if I think in the future people will look back on him as just a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Because he shouldn't be able to do what he was able to do it with at his size and work as long as he's able to work. But if you're going to have
getting mad,
because Shawn Michaels always looked like $1 million. He was jacked out of his gourd. He was, always had just that look. But if you're that size, you gotta try to pack it on. You gotta try to pack that muscle on, like Pac. Pac is a smaller dude, but he's just jacked to the gills. Whether or not whether or not he's on the secret sauce or not, that's not for me to say. But it's a possibility to get like that if you're that size. Your frame's not that big. Like Rey Mysterio's always been pretty well muscled for a dude that's like 5'3" or 5'4" or whatever he is.
Yeah. Well, look at Dynamite Kid back in the day.
Yeah.
Dino. Well,
Kid
yeah,
was
Dino
5'7", maybe, and had the physique of a 300-pound man, but he was moving around like a cruiserweight.
Well, see how well that did for him later in life.
It didn't work out well. No.
Didn't work out well.
No. Have you seen his nephews, Gary?
No.
Brett started up territory in Calgary again, Dungeon Wrestling.
No,
and
I didn't know.
So they brought in the Billington Bulldogs as one of their tag teams, and Thomas, the shorter one with the hair, is almost a dead ringer for Stampede Dynamite.
Are they going to wrestle the Von Erichs at some point? Because
I would imagine at some point.
Why haven't I've never really seen the Von Erich boys work? Like, are they good?
Oh, they're very good. Yeah.
Are they just MLW?
Mainly, they've gone around some of the indies here and there. I think they did New Wave, didn't they, Menders?
If they did, I didn't see that show. I wasn't there for that one. If they did, they haven't done it recently. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, they usually Kevin's always in their corner, but eventually I think I'd like to see them. I want to see how they would do as a heel team, but that's a ways off because they're so over with the family and everything.
Yeah.
Well, we've put it off long enough, you two. So why don't we get into it? The theme for today's show, which we kind of lollygagged, we had a lot of stuff to talk about, but it is time for our fantasy draft, the current stars edition. This is our first time doing this. But how we're gonna do this, and we'll do this there like here and there down the road, but 10 rounds, and basically you have a minimum 2 men, 2 women, 2 tag teams, and then the other four, or the other 4 picks, or you can pick whatever you want out of those 3 categories. So I just ask that you keep on your toes. I want to have as little duplication as we can. So be ready to call audibles if you need to.
Do we have to write these down, or are you writing them all down?
I'm going to keep track here.
I got it.
But let's see here. And so we're going to start off, and there we go. Round 1. There we go.
Oh, you were.
I have a lot of free time. I didn't have a really busy day at work today. So round 1, and let's see. There we go.
Who gets to go first, Mark?
Well, because I'm a gentleman, we'll let Menders go first here. We'll go Menders, Gary, then me.
Okay. Well, my first pick is FTR.
Ooh. Okay. Now defend your pick.
Defend my pick. It's FTR. What do I need to defend? They're the best tag team right now, in my opinion.
Cool.
And I want them on my show.
Fair enough. AEW tag champs. They signed the big new contract and then immediately lost to Jarrett and Lethal on TV.
Yeah.
In singles, mind you, singles.
This is the thing, though. I wouldn't use them the same way. I wouldn't use them the same way the idiot's using them. So
the idiot.
Well, the idiot.
Wait. By idiot,
you know that guy that's not. That guy that's not from Champaign. Remember?
Oh, Mister, I forgot where I came from. Tony Khan.
Yep,
I may have flown off the handle a little bit last Wednesday when he pulled that shit. But
you weren't the only one. I think I messaged you and said, "Did he just say that?"
You're not from Champaign, Mark. Why were you so upset? It's not like he's from Muncie.
He didn't say hometown. He said home state of Florida.
He said home state of Florida.
Well, he lives in Florida.
But that's not his home state.
Come on. Yes.
Don't defend this.
Where was he originally born? Was it Champaign? Or did he just spend most of his childhood there?
I don't have the time or inclination to Google him right now. But
oh, so just wild accusations coming out of the press again.
No. Come on, Mark. We can't lose our press passes. Come on now.
What press passes?
Oh, yeah. We don't have those.
Oh.
All right. So let's see. Damn it. I'm trying to get my thing going here.
Who's next?
Gary, you are next here.
I'm going to pick Rhea Ripley.
Knew I should have done her first. I knew it.
I should might have rephrased that there, Menders.
Nope, not going to. I'm mad about that one.
It's just she can built right. She could work a man or a woman, and she is
very true.
And she's also a legitimate threat, or she's come a long way with her mic work and her character work, and she has got a great look, and I would build I would rather build a division around her than I would like a Jade, because Jade's still a little green
Yeah.
and Rhea is not. And like Rhea can put a strong match on with pretty much anybody. So
Okay. She's definitely the most over female talent on WWE right now.
Yes. Very much so.
All
right, Mark, it's to
Very,
you.
very sound picks. I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path a little bit here. I'm going to go to MLW. And I'm going to pick probably the most credible guy that they have, who I wish would get a shot on like more like widely found television, and that is their former world heavyweight champion Jacob Fatu. Oh, Menders.
Oh, she's gonna lose your number.
I don't think she has my number. We just do everything on
No, I don't
Messenger.
think I do, actually. Everything's on Messenger. It's all right.
I mean, come on. This guy, he's the whole package.
Yeah.
If he seems more like Umaga's son than the kid in Booker's school right now that's training. Because if you look for Samoan Savage, that's the guy that comes to mind when you think about it. It's not Solo. If you want a Samoan enforcer, you get Jacob Fatu. You don't get Solo Sikoa. Right. And that's not a knock on Solo either.
It's not a knock on Solo.
All right.
Okay.
So as I hoped, you have not copied any of my answers so far. So let's see, Menders, we are going to go to you for make it my graphic. Round 2. There we go.
AJ made a good point in the chat.
What did he say here?
In a perfect world, Jacob Fatu would be in Solo's spot.
I 100% agree. All right, Menders, your second pick, please.
Well, I'm going to just go ahead and get my 2 tag teams out of the way.
Okay.
I'm going to take Gallus.
Damn you. You got me.
I got you. But yeah, I'm going to take Gallus. NXT, they're 2 of my favorite. They're my favorite guys over there right now. They're great. They seem to be able to have a good match with everybody. Yeah, they're just fun.
All
right,
very
Gary.
Very sound choice here. Gerald, your second pick, please.
Cody Rhodes.
Ooh, man, you're just getting all the main eventers.
Well, I'm picking people that I can. If you had to, in a pinch, they could be a heel, they could be a face, they can work this person, they could work that person. Cody, eventually, you could make him a great heel if you wanted to. He doesn't seem to want to, but I don't care what he wants. This is a fantasy draft.
All right. I can't argue with that. I mean, he's over like Rover. They like to sing a song and all that stuff. All right. I'm going to go to the tag teams myself because I've got a feeling that you're going to take this one, Menders, because I know you.
I already got 2. I can't. I already got 2.
Well, okay. But you might kick yourself for not picking this one. I'm going with the Kingdom.
No, they were on my list of possibilities. That was if you stole Gallus from me before I got Gallus. I love the Kingdom, so I'm right there with you. I understand that one.
Yeah.
They should have won the ROH belts.
Yeah. They had a good run in Impact, too, with the Honor No More stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just, I mean, as far as like just a solid team, I mean, there's not a whole lot more solid than those 2 guys.
Yeah.
All right. And we're moving right along, which is probably a good thing because we're already an hour into this show. All right. It was time for round 3 here. So Vendors, we are to you.
I'm taking my boy. I'm taking MJF. I want MJF. I love his heel work. I couldn't see my roster without him.
I mean, it's how do you argue? I mean,
Yeah. He's the best thing on AEW right now.
he's the best decision Tony made so far in his booking strategies is putting that world title on MJF.
And we'll see what happens come 2024.
Yeah. It's like, there's a bidding war in 2024.
I hope so.
Yes.
The only thing is, I'm afraid he'll get lost at WWE.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know if he will.
They
I
like
don't
to-
think he would let. I don't
they
know if he
like
would let them lose him.
Well, they
Yeah.
like to break toys.
Now, only if they're not broke, Gary.
They like to break things that aren't broke.
Yeah, and
And-
by
and
they,
then-
I mean
And
Mr.
then
Mustache.
complain they're broke. And
Yeah.
then throw them away because they're broke.
Yep, good old Vince McMustache. That's his go-to.
Oh,
So, Gerald, your third pick, please.
this will be this will probably surprise you guys, but it'll be the New Day,
Oh, the New Day. Interesting.
because not only are they a multi-time tag team champ, but you also have, even if Big E doesn't come back, you have an ex-world champion, and I would imagine Woodsy will win like the U.S. or the Intercontinental at some point.
Oh, he has to.
He was
Yeah.
king of the ring. They can cut promos. They can be heels if you need them to. They can be faces. So they fill a lot of spots. Because you already took FTR. So
Sorry.
it's
All right. A fine choice indeed. I am going to go back to the fellas here and pick a guy who not only is he being underused presently by our favorite Tony, I've thought he's been underused since the day they signed him, and that's Jay Lethal.
Okay.
Also a nice guy. I met him at the expo. But I mean, come on. Aside his finish aside, Gary, and I know that's what you're thinking. I mean, he's so good at everything. It's
I like AJ's comment. Sorry, I'm over here
Oh,
chuckling
hang on.
about it.
Gary's brand. I'm putting this up on the screen. Gary's brand would be selling a shitload of merch off those first three picks alone. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is not wrong.
he's not.
Or is
good shit, pal.
Oh, and Mark, instead of
Yes.
the Von Erichs over at New Wave was the Von Englands. So that you
Oh,
might have had the
okay.
name confused.
That's very possible.
AJ just brought that to my attention, so
All right.
and that very well could have been it.
All right. So moving on, we are to round 4, and we're moving along nicely here. So Menders, your next pick, please.
This might surprise you a little bit,
Jimmy
but
Carrot.
I'm no, you wouldn't let me use independence.
He would have been your first pick.
Yeah, you would have. Zoe Stark.
Ah,
Oh, sorry.
that's fine.
I'm gonna take Zoe Stark. I think she has a lot of potential. She's built like a brick shithouse.
Damn right she is.
I could see her and Rhea going after it.
Yeah,
So I don't think that'd be a terrible match at all, as long as everybody's healthy. That would be the only problem with Zoe. She's not always healthy.
Yeah, she has. She goes hard, and sometimes that
does.
comes back to bite her in the butt. But no, that's a very, very good pick there. Gary, to you, sir.
Was Impact on the list?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, Tiana Perazzo.
Ooh, nice.
because she's fantastic.
She really is.
Like her mic works come along. Like her voice is a little wobbly, but I think that's just her voice. But her character work is great, and she is just incredible as a professional wrestler. Like she just.
No, I 100% agree.
I agree.
So,
All
I think she has
Zoe
a
off my
super
list,
high
too.
ceiling.
Well, Gary, you are done with the women if you want to be. So you have your 2 women already.
Oh,
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Yeah? All right. Well, I too am going to select a woman.
Okay.
It sounds really creepy out of context. Hang on, I gotta check in with the wife. I'm home, but need to put scanner on. They have someone pulled over. 2 cop cars with flashing lights blocking entrance to our complex. Time to be nosy, she said. Oh no, she's coming through the door. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm going to go with my my next pick, and I'm also going to go Impact, but I'm going with Masha Slamovich.
I figured that was coming.
Yeah, because also current GCW heavyweight champion. And yeah, she's just super legit. Had an awesome match with Mickie James not too long ago. Kind of weird match, but really good. Been doing a lot of stuff with Bully Ray, like his almost like his one of his heaters. And yeah, she's been really she's been impressed the hell out of me. And I didn't know her very well till last year sometime when she was with when she came to GCW. But I am going to make her my first woman pick in this draft here. So with that said, we are going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're on 5.
Oh, 5.
We're on
There
5.
we go. Round 5. There we go. This is why I need somebody pushing the buttons and all this stuff, because the guy can only do so much. But I digress.
I am going to go with. I'm going to take Mark Briscoe.
Really?
I
Interesting.
am.
I will say it's a shame we couldn't have the Briscoes on our tag team list.
Right. Because that probably would have been my number 2 pick, honestly, and I would have let you have Gallus.
Honestly, that would have been my number 1 pick.
Ah!
Like overall, that would have been my first pick in this draft.
Yeah. Yeah, unless I got him first.
Well, this is very true. No, I mean, good pick. He's doing good stuff in AEW right now, just kind of being himself. And
Yeah.
I don't really get the running around with Lethal and Jarrett and all that. He should kind of be doing his own thing.
I agree. Like I said, most of these people I picked because I know what they've done in the past, and I know how much better it could be than what they're being used for right now.
Sure. All right. Gary, your 5th pick, please.
Bryan Danielson.
Daniel Bryan. Damn his long name.
Right?
All right.
That's just kind of a no-brainer in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll say I was asking you to defend your pick, but I mean, who am I kidding? It's
Yeah, exactly.
He very well, right at this moment, could be the best professional wrestler in the world. Like, it's a week-to-week thing, but like,
yeah,
his MGF had a big part in it, but that Iron Man match was about 1,000 times better than it should have been, and I was super impressed with it. And his character work, like, he's kind of becoming almost like the Big Show, though, where it's like every other week he's a heel, then he's a face, but it does show that he has range, and I do enjoy him more as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a very like West Coast like elite type heel where he's just I'm better than you, and he doesn't even have to give a reason. It's just because I am.
Yeah,
like,
I loved the Wheat Germ title belt that he had.
Yeah. Oh, that was a beautiful belt too. Like the one he had in the WWE. Yeah, I really like that. But
Yes.
when Kofi had to go get hot, can't hear you, Mark.
Oh, sorry, I was muted for
There
a
you
second. I'm trying to get the wife to bring me a foot beat, but
A
I don't
foot
think she
beat.
heard me. Oh, she says, hold on. Okay, thank you, honey. But
A
no,
foot beat.
Vince hates it when people get over on their own without the machine helping them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to pick what?
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, we have comments. Hang on, let me go up here. I'll put that on the. I'd smoke that hemp build,
He would.
honey. Put my empty can out of the way there. Thank you. Have to mind my manners. My brother called me out when I was less than classy last episode. When all right, so my fifth pick, I'm going tag team again. I'm going back to MLW this time, also by extension GCW. I'm going with the Second Gear Crew, which is Mance Warner and Matthew Justice.
That doesn't surprise me with Mance Warner being in there.
Yeah, old Mancer, the eye poke god, and then Matthew Justice, who's kind of like the modern day Sabu. With he's one of those guys that takes a lot of stupid risks, but they usually pay off. Like he doesn't miss spots, and he manages. Believe it or not, he manages to be fairly safe for the most part. But there are sometimes he does things that make you scratch your head. But together they make for a really good tag team.
I'm cool with it.
All right. All right. Let me update my list here. There we go. Talking to myself, which is great on a podcast. All right. Round 6. We're over halfway home here, so we're going to go to round 6, and we'll start with Menders, if you are so inclined.
I'm going to MLW. And I'm going to pick up
Okay.
Hammerstone.
Ooh, great call.
I saw Hammerstone up at Dreamwave, and I was really impressed with him. He was against Lince Dorado, and that was the first time I'd seen Hammerstone in person, and I was he's just built like a god, and he's so big,
he really is.
and he's so good. He's really good. So
yeah, I tend to overuse the term brick shit house, but that is Alex Hammerstone.
it is. It really is.
He's big muscly fella. I think he's hurt right now, so I'm curious where that leaves the world title over there right now. But
and see, then I've got the dynasty going on, kind of.
oh yeah,
Because
the dynasty,
Hammerstone and MJF. Thanks for reminding me, AJ. I knew there was a reason I put those two together.
Is Richard Holiday on your list too?
No. I have one other MLW guy though.
Oh.
So.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
All right, Gary, your sixth pick, please.
Since you're commissioner, you'll have to okay this, because I'm not sure. Like, I consider them a tag team because I've seen them tag team, and when I used to put tag teams together for the Jim Desmond and Andy Darting tournaments in WCW versus NWO, it was if they've ever tagged together. So I'm going to say Claudio and Moxley.
They've tagged in AEW.
Because they're in a group.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get value out of that.
I'm just gonna put
you do.
I'm just gonna put BCC down here because
yeah.
Oh, you did it right, Mark. I'm so proud.
All you need is Yuta, and you'll have the whole group, Gary.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Oh shoot. Okay.
I mean, don't get me. Wheeler Yuta is a very talented professional wrestler, but
yeah, but
yeah, I just yeah.
He's useless. Sorry.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to pick my my second lady and going to NXT. Somebody who I honestly thought was going to get drafted.
You're gonna make me. I bet you're gonna make me mad
Uh-oh.
here real quick.
It's Roxanne Perez.
No.
Ah, you did not pick Roxanne. I'm picking
I did
Roxanne
not
Perez.
pick Roxanne.
I had Roxy as my babyface of the year during our year in review awards episode in December. And yeah, she's just really, really good. Very young still, so she still has a ways like a lot to learn, you know.
Mark,
So I think
would you consider her a prodigy?
I would consider her more of a prodigy than some people that throw that name around.
Sorry.
No, she's not a prodigy.
No, she's not a prodigy, but she is a prodigy.
But who is? All right. So, but yeah, I think she's with Indy going up. I think she's going to get that NXT Women's title back and have a good run with it. AJ's could have picked the BB. No, I almost did it. Could have.
You almost did it.
BCC as one pick instead of picking Danielson and one and Claudio. But we're not Raw or SmackDown, AJ. We don't pick full factions in one pick.
So what you're saying, Mark, is you almost did a BBC?
I almost did.
When it's supposed to be BPC,
But Mark almost did it.
Yeah, well,
I almost did.
He was also listening to Corny earlier, so I would let it slide.
I was listening to the experience.
Corny talking about BBCs?
Yes, and he's talking about Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, well, no, he wasn't then.
Well,
is this some Urban Dictionary thing I don't know about, Gary?
Yeah.
Barry knows. I'm gonna remain blissfully ignorant on this. All right. Well, it is time for round number 7, and we're. Like I say, there's not a bad roster to be found out of these. So, Menders, I will throw it to you then. Who is your next pick, please?
Hold on. 7 and 8. Crap. Okay. I'm gonna go with LA Knight.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with LA Knight. He can talk like nobody else. He's such
Very
a good
true.
talker.
Definitely best promo on SmackDown right now.
That ain't saying a whole. Well,
except for Heyman.
Except for Heyman. But yeah, I will give you that. Except for Heyman. And I'm taking off a lot of the people I had came up with because, yeah, I want certain people and okay. And one of them you're probably gonna. Okay, I'm gonna fight between two because I don't know which one I want. I've got 2 of them that I'm not sure.
All right, Gary, your 7th pick, please.
Oh. Well, I'm torn, but I would actually probably still, and I'm going to do it just because I'm a Mark, but Christian.
Okay.
Because you could go anywhere with him.
He's going to outwork everybody, but not win a damn thing.
Yeah.
He'll also work everybody.
Yeah,
he will work everybody.
He'll be the best worker in your company, just because he is, but not do anything.
Yeah, definitely the best heel they got outside of MJF right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have to do anything. He's just
because he's smart.
He's just
shows up.
rolling in turtlenecks and lasers and having dinosaurs with him.
Rolling in with the turtlenecks. Yep.
Very nice. Good pick. All right. Well, I too am going to go AEW for my 7th pick here, but I'm going to go with a new guy. I'm going with King Switch, so I'm going with Jay White for my next pick.
Had him on my list. I hate you.
Big fan from especially from New Japan. I hope Tony doesn't drop the ball with this one.
You're asking a lot of Tony.
Maybe giving him a little too much credit, but I know I've heard Corny say he doesn't really get the allure of Jay White yet. I mean, he doesn't. I don't think he watched a lot of New Japan.
I was gonna say he doesn't watch any New Japan stuff. So
in New Japan, with his stuff when he was feuding with Okada, when he was their world champion, it was just aces to me. He was easily the best heel they had in Japan. Well, in New Japan, I don't know about. I don't watch enough of Noah and All Japan to have an opinion. But loaded with charisma, really good at playing that sleazy heel.
You gotta love a sleazy heel. Come on.
Yeah. I do worry sometimes when guys come from New Japan that have been big over there because it's such a different kind of heel work, and that sometimes American audiences don't appreciate it because like everything has to be a little bigger over there, and over here it's a little more subtle.
Yeah.
And so, like, you kind of have to settle into a middle ground. I think that's probably why. Well, I still don't get the Okada thing. I don't
either. I'm not a fan, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see if I've picked the right one because I can't read for shit. Round 8. There we go. All right. So, Minders, we're almost to the end of our list. So, what is your 8th pick, please?
I'm going back to MLW.
Ooh, a lot of MLW on this draft. I like it.
Yeah, I'm picking up Alex Kane.
Oh, I know you like Alex Kane.
I love Alex Kane.
I believe he made a stopover in 0-1 last year, if I remember
right.
He
did. He sat down next to me in your normal seat.
Nice.
And he sat there while I forget who he was fighting at the time. I forget who he fought. But yeah, him and I sat there and had a conversation because the guy in the ring wouldn't shut up. So might have been Joey.
Might have been.
Might have been. But yeah, I'm gonna take
Lander,
Alex
maybe?
Kane. No, it wasn't Lander. This was before Lander was talking as much.
Alex Kane is a good pick. Plus, he won Battle Riot last week too, so they're really strapping the rocket to him.
And his suplexes, oh my goodness,
yeah,
so
my,
good.
My club.
Oh, it might have been. Oh, it was. Good call, AJ. Tanner Keeler. It was Tanner.
It
was Tanner. Tanner was yakking a lot, though.
That's not. Well, singing maybe. I don't see him as a yacker though.
Oh, he can be. I still love him, but he can be.
Yeah. All right, Gary, your 8th pick, please.
Well, I figure if I do this, then you can also have nostalgia, just in case you ever want it. Just for the short amount of time they'll both be around, but I'm going to pick Edge.
Ooh.
Since I have
gives you also gives you a ready-made tag team there.
Yeah. So you have the nostalgia of ENC coming back together. And Edge, like, if you'd have asked me before, especially before like the ENC podcast, because I didn't really start liking Edge at all till that.
I love that podcast.
And I loved Christian even more after that podcast. And the ENC show like was great. But Edge's run since he's came back has really impressed me. Like his work is so much better to me. Like it just seems more grounded in psychology, and it's been so and since Christian's always been great, like that their tag team would be fantastic. But also you could have ready-made a guy that was already a champion level guy multiple times.
Right. All right. I will little tip of the cap on that one. That's a good pick there. Let's see. Bari, high praise here from Bari Menders. So far, I'd watch all the 3 shows. That's I think I would too, to be honest with you.
I would too.
All right, so my 8th pick, I'm going to do what the WWE did not have the courage to do. I'm splitting up a tag team here.
Okay.
So my 8th pick, I'm picking Montez Ford. Of course, of the Street Profits, because good lord, everything he does, he's gonna be a megastar sooner than later. I've said it till I'm blue in the face on this show and on others, but he's got everything you want in a main event singles wrestler right now.
He does.
Awkward silence.
I know, right? I don't know. I'll put it this way. Okay, you'll never hear me say this again, but Dawkins actually impressed me the other night. And you know how much I don't like Dawkins.
You're not a big fan of Dawkins.
I am not a big fan of
Dawkins. I think he's better than people give him credit for. I agree. I think Ford is. It's so much the Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty effect. It's ridiculous because Jannetty, to me, like when you look back, when they were a tag team, Jannetty was a really good worker, but Michaels was so Shawn Michaels. And Michaels to me wasn't the best version of himself until he had come back from his back injury.
02. Yeah, I agree with that.
And in 02, like Michaels became just, he's got to be on everybody's top 5 if you're just looking at just workability. Like he's just insanely good. But like in the early days, Marty Jannetty could work circles around him.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying Dawkins can work circles around Ford, but Dawkins I think is better, but just by the sheer like how good Ford is.
Yeah. Ford is literally leaps and bounds above Dawkins.
Yeah.
But everything he does, I think Montez might be the most exciting guy on the roster in general right now. Which I know is kind of a big statement, but I don't know. That's just me. Moving on. Here we go. Round number 9, Menders. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right.
I had to consult with my helpers. Because I was stuck between 2.
Okay.
AJ. A different chat. I'm gonna go Cora Jade.
Ooh, interesting.
She's so young. She's got so much more. She's a very good heel. And I've got other people that. Yeah, I like Cora.
I'm with you. I like her work, especially since she turned heel.
Yes, she's been so much better since she turned heel.
Yeah.
She had too much. She had too much of Pockets' gimmick when she was face, and it annoyed me. With the skateboard
she was a cross between Pockets and Darby.
Yeah. I guess Darby's what I meant, and I said I've been having. I'm gonna call it broken foot brain. That's what I'm gonna call it. Medicated brain. Good Lord, I can't even talk. Medicated brain.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Right, Gary?
Yeah. I don't even need to be medicated.
All right, Gerald, your 9th pick, please.
Oh, I'm stuck between thinking about who is a bigger draw and who was the better overall. And one is leaps and bounds better in the ring, but the other one is for some reason a bigger draw, but I don't know. But I'm going to pick Charlotte Flair.
Interesting.
Because as much as I think she's gotten the belt too much. I also have to fully admit that she is just the total package at this point. It's ridiculous how good she's gotten and the things she can do in the ring, her toughness level. Like if the only nick I have about her was how reckless she can be at times.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. You put her in the ring with Rhea enough times, you probably beat the recklessness out of her.
Right.
That's the truth.
But that match her and Rhea had at Mania was really good. Like it completely stole the show for me. And
Chef's
Charlotte narrowly avoided big problems with that flip.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was the only part, and what really convinced me, like looking back on it, was like Charlotte's ability to sell there at the end and not try to be like waking up and trying to salvage like, oh, I'm Charlotte Flair, I can't be pinned. No, she sold the way you're supposed to sell because that was that kind of match. So yeah, that's who I'm going with.
All right. Sounds good. I like it. Keith Gibson is in the chat. Keith, my friend, hello, sir.
Hi, Keith.
I hope you recovered from our golfing on Sunday in the rain, and we got hailed on a little bit too, which is always fun.
Oh.
All right.
Did he push Stacy out of the golf cart?
No, she was in a different golf cart.
Oh, okay.
This gravity was the culprit on that one. But yeah, there you go. His back is sore. I don't blame you. I hear you. All right, so it's time for my number 9, and I might incur the wrath of one of our friends, vendors.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going with the major players as a tag team unit. Cardona and Myers. Because number 1, Cardona is
he's
top 5 best heels in the business right now. And then Myers is just pound for pound, just a damn good worker, you know. And they make for a good tag team. And they've been doing some cool stuff in Impact and also elsewhere, you know, GCW and all the other indies that Cardona's the king of at the moment. But I figured this was coming.
You figured that was coming?
Mid Cardona, AJ says.
He hates Cardona.
He hates, as I understand, he hates Cardona with the passion of 1,000 suns.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I have not heard him speak ill of anybody worse.
That's part of the reason I picked him, because I wanted to see what AJ was going to say. All right. Oh, we popped Bari.
Yeah, of course we did.
All right. Well, we have come to that time. It is time for the 10th and final round of the fantasy draft. And right now, all three of us have picked some damn good rosters here, but I'm curious to see what you guys do for number 10, Menders. I'll let you go first.
Can we go backwards? I don't want to go first.
Why?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
AJ. Oh, I love how much he hates Cardona. It's great.
The deep cut there.
Aw. All right. This last pick, I had 3 that I really like. So I asked the boys to help me.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to go with AJ Styles. So I have some...
Oh, yeah.
So we have some. So I have veteran blood on my roster.
Yeah, I forgot about AJ.
But... I didn't. He was going to be my next pick.
Sorry, Mark.
There's...
Not really, but yeah, sure.
You're not sorry.
No, I'm not. Do we get to do at least a couple honorable mentions?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll wait till we get through these picks here.
As AJ Styles is another one of those that's just you don't need to defend it because it just makes sense. He can work heel. He's better as a heel.
Really, I think he's better as babyface. To be honest with you.
I like his heel work better, but I also was a fan of the club, so that makes more sense why I would say heel. But
Now, I did like his stuff when he was like his actual Bullet Club period in Japan.
yeah,
The club, the OC, that's kind of it's okay. I don't mind
it's watered
it.
down. It's watered down.
It's diluted definitely.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's plus he was a great little pricky shithead when he was in TNA and he was a heel back when he was like in his early 20s.
The best AJ Styles is when he was in Christian's group.
Really?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I didn't like it. It was entertaining, but I think my favorite period was right at the tail end of his run in Impact when he was
that
putting
was
Willie over
good.
the world title.
Yeah.
AJ.
Then he just like he didn't give a shit.
When he first started growing out his hair.
Yeah, and he had the beard and everything.
AJ, glad Styles is back on SmackDown in the house he built.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully he gets a run with Roman because I don't think he's.
He did
He's had a shot.
Before he had the belt.
Yeah,
they had a lot of matches.
Well, yeah. But like since Roman's been on this run, he hasn't really.
AJ had the belt, I think. I'm pretty sure. The last time they had.
I don't even remember who had the belt before Roman at this point. So.
I don't think AJ had the belt when Roman was doing this.
When AJ had the belt and Roman was chasing him?
I think AJ's last run with the belt was when he dropped it to Danielson when he did the Wheat Germ belt.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I digress. All right, Gary, your final pick, sir.
Well, so since this is fantasy, the person that we pick is going to be guaranteed to be in top health, right? Since it's fantasy.
Oh, yeah. We're talking prime condition. We're not going with injury-riddled people.
It was between 3, and then I thought about a 4th possibility because I didn't think of them at all. But it would add more people, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to pick Saraya.
Oh, interesting.
Because she is a draw, and she can work, and she can talk, and she doesn't mind ruffling feathers.
No, she does not.
But yeah, the honorable mentions were right there, just for. Yeah. But I was thinking like, oh yeah, she in a fantasy draft she could actually not break her neck.
She's not a Fabergé egg.
She's not.
All right. Well, that's a good call. I mean, I'm not a fan of what she's doing right now in AEW, but like I said, I think they're afraid to break her, so they're not having her do much. Yeah. I know she's wrestling Willow tomorrow, as I understand it.
Ooh, that makes me nervous.
That could be rough.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask Anna Jay.
Well, that was a dumb spot to begin with, but
it really was. All right. Well, my last pick, I'm going to go back to the ladies, and I'm going Io Sky for my last pick.
You caught me off guard with that one.
Take her away from Damage Control, and she's awesome.
I want to switch a pick. I forgot about.
Well, we got honorable mentions.
We are honorable mentions.
But yeah, she's. I don't think she's long for Damage Control. Seems like they've been teasing her going babyface the last few weeks. And that's where she's better. I think she's better as the babyface than as the heel. It's just my opinion. But plus, she's really good off the ropes. She does the cool moonsaults and all that. But she can also work. She's a hell of a technical wrestler too. So
yeah.
So she's my 10th pick. So that is. All right, and let me get this organized here.
AJ, long as Bailey stays heel and yells at Michael Cole every week, I'm happy.
Well, I think that's the reason why they kept Hit Row on SmackDown, so Michael Cole can keep giving Top Dollar crap about.
I know nobody
going
picked
with-
Flop Dollar. I don't understand.
I can.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that now I'm thinking of that, but
Yeah.
I might have switched. Yeah, no, I like Claudio and what Moxley could do.
Yeah.
But
All right. So before we get into honorable mentions, here's the field that we came up with. I've been on the ball. It's a little uneven, which is going to drive me nuts. But
It'll drive you nuts. It's okay with all the rest of us.
Menders, I really like Menders, your group, because it's a lot of outside the box people. Cora Jade, Alex Kane, Hammerstone,
That was
Mark
kind of what I
Briscoe.
was going for, was the people that you could build with, and that you're not. They haven't already established themselves, so you could establish them, but you
Yeah.
have somebody like AJ Styles in there, that an FTR, that are more quote unquote vets,
Right.
that can kind of lead those guys, lead the whole roster. So
Yeah, on mine, I've picked a lot of guys that could be main eventers anywhere. Jay White, Lethal, Fatu, guys like that. And then I wanted to focus more on the tag teams, but you picked all the good ones.
sorry,
I digress,
AJ.
though.
Let me in on the next draft. I'll
You
put
know-
together the
you
worst
know-
and most ridiculous wrestling roster you've ever seen.
you know what's funny?
Is this a Tony Khan burner account?
You know what's funny? You're talking about we picked all the best tag teams, and I just thought we didn't pick the tag team. Nobody picked the tag team champs. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I wouldn't have kept them as a tag team.
No, I would have
but
picked
you
one
would
of
have
them
still had
separate.
them. I mean, you would have still had them as the. But man, I forgot about. If I would have had to do it over again instead of Charlotte, I would have picked Asuka. Like Kana Asuka, not just Asuka.
Right,
Asuka, but because then you don't have the mouthpiece, but you could always put somebody with her. But I think she's better at English than they let on. So I know Io is,
Yeah.
but
But the promos have more oomph when they're in Japanese, though.
yeah.
Like, well, I don't want to say too much. Let's do honorable mentions here. Menders, let's each get two.
Two?
Yeah.
Okay, well, my tag team honorable mention was Motor City Machine Guns.
Nice.
And then
They
the
almost made my list.
I was going to say, the other one that I was fighting with between AJ Styles was Damian Priest.
Ah, you took one of my honorable mentions, Menders. I was going to go Priest.
Barry, why would we pick up Paulie?
No, but nobody picked up Roman either.
Yeah, nobody said Roman either.
Nobody cared.
Nobody
Nobody
cared.
cared. Nobody
one of these
cares.
days we'll
Roman.
draft
Nobody
managers.
cares.
All right, Gary, your honorable mentions.
I had in my head, like, besides Asuka, but like it was just like I was bouncing back and forth between Becky Lynch and Britt Baker, because like Britt, pretty decent worker, and she's coming into her own, and she can be a really good heel. But Becky's just kind of got that it factor, and just her work isn't like stellar, but she's solid. But yeah, those were probably the two. And then, like I was saying, like I forgot all about. I'm not the world's biggest. If I'm being honest, I'm not the world's biggest Sami Zayn fan. Just he's doing big things right now, and I don't mind it. I've always liked Owens just because I thought he had a little bit more spark to him. Sammy is just kind of, and it just kind of reminds me of a dude I went to high school with. Like, isn't like, and I love Sami Zayn, like, away from the ring. Like any interview he's in, he's hilarious. He's thoughtful. Seems like a great guy. Like, but his just in-ring stuff has just never done it for me. I don't know. And it's not any fault of his.
No.
It's just mine. It's just my personal taste. But yeah.
In ring, I would prefer when he was doing the El Generico stuff to when he unmasked. But same, I agree with you. I mean, I like I said, I like his work in general, but Owens always had more of the it factor, I thought, than Sammy did.
I just like Owens more, and I like Sammy.
Yeah. All right. So is that one, or did you pick both your honorable mentions?
I put him in there somewhere.
He had Asuka.
Oh, Asuka.
Yeah.
Asuka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Very nice. Well, since Menders took Damian Priest, who I'm a big fan of, by the way. I loved his promo last night in Spanish.
Yeah.
I actually caught a little bit of
good.
it with my rudimentary high school Spanish. I needed LDLC there to translate for me.
Yeah.
Inside 01 USA joke.
Yeah.
You guys would love it if you go to the shows. So my first one I'm gonna go with is I'm gonna go Santos Escobar from well, I guess he's from the LWO now, but this when he was in NXT, when he was the cruiserweight champion, he was so good, and he still is in the ring. He's still almost perfect.
That dude's fantastic.
Yeah, and he even had a little run in Impact under the hood when he was El Fantasmo or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and that's when I first saw him. But yeah, he has the look. He can move. He can.
AJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he on Lucha Underground? Yeah, and I can't remember who he was on Lucha Underground.
Probably El Fantasmo or something. Yeah, AJ knows more about Lucha Underground than I do.
Yeah, well,
Santos
AJ
was also
and I.
on Lucha Underground too.
Who was Santos though, AJ? What was his name on Lucha Underground? I don't remember.
Well, we wait on AJ. My second one I'm gonna pick, and it's gonna bug you, Menders. I'm sorry. I'm picking the Viking Raiders with Valhalla. King Cuerno in Lucha
King
Underground.
Cuerno. Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
I thought that was. Oh no, Ricochet was Prince Puma. I got my
Ricochet was
wrong.
Prince Puma.
Right. He was also Helios in Chikara, but that's neither here nor there. No one picked Braun Strowman. No one picked Ricochet.
No one picked Breaker.
No one picked Braun. Yeah.
What? Hey, we're just like WWE right now.
I guess so.
And Mello. I'm surprised you didn't pick Mello.
I almost picked Mello. I really came. I was trying to avoid any world champions on my list.
Oh, so yeah. I forgot all about Grayson Waller. I would have definitely.
Oh, Waller, yeah, he's a good one. Yeah.
Picked him as my version of MJF.
Yeah, or the Miz.
Or the Miz, yeah.
The only other one I didn't get was Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh,
I love Ciampa.
I do love Ciampa. He's awesome.
He's just old and hurt all the time now. But
he is hurt a lot. Yeah.
You're going prime Ciampa though. So.
Yeah.
I would say you went with freaking Saraya, so.
Yeah, that's why I asked if they were going to be healthy or not.
That's where the guidelines come in. Like if I would have thought about it, I could have easily gone Robert Roode if we're going by those guidelines. If you're going prime condition, I could have gone Bobby Roode very easily there.
Yeah.
But that concludes our draft, guys. This was awesome. We're going to do more of these, like not every week, obviously, but we'll pick a theme and do one maybe every month.
Did you see what Barry threw up there? He had a pretty good idea. He said, now we take our rosters and we book a show with our draft picks.
There you go.
You don't understand. This is what we sit around and do at their house all the time. Except we actually made it when we did our draft one time. We said they could not have been on AEW or anything like that. They had to be indies only. So we picked like local guys around here.
Right. So it's the 01 locker room, pretty much.
01, New Wave, Hybrid.
Iron Spirit Pro.
Yeah, we had some from Iron Spirit.
Yeah.
Anarchy. We let Anarchy in.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got a little bit of time left. Let's move on to our next thing here, and so we're gonna, after I burp, we're going to go to. So I actually updated that little video thing with all the people that have gone in since then. But I
Say,
can't use it yet because I actually threw in this week's inductee on there too. So, like,
I was
wanna
say
ruin the
we're missing
surprise.
some on there.
Yeah. Next episode, though, it'll be up to date.
Okay.
But yeah, JTR Hall of Fame, as usual. Just so many people to choose from, but I picked I think one of my favorites and one of yours, especially you, Gerald. There he
Love
is,
Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. Cool Kurt, as he was known in AWA, because they didn't really know what to do with him.
He was champ right before he left.
Right before he left. But there you see, there. Look at that young fella there with his
Aw.
pops. Larry the Axe, not a handsome man, Larry the Axe, but
God, Curtis
big
looks so
tough
much
guy.
like him. Axel looks so much like him.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really does. Yeah, it's always been a sticking point with me, guys that wear the trunks and the boots with no knee pads. It just looks like he's in his underwear.
Well,
Yeah.
Or as my wife says, his panties, which I've had to correct her about.
it's funnier the way she says it. Though.
It is funnier the way
but
she
it's so dismissive though. Panties.
Trolloping around in their panties.
Trolloping.
Trolloping.
I never heard that used as a verb before. But yeah, he starts
Traipsing.
off teaming with this old man. I think he wrestled the Road Warriors for the tag titles once. I forget. He was obviously he was the one doing the moves. No, Larry's more of just a come in and chop
Hit
and
you.
punch kind of guy. Yeah.
Just
Then,
gonna hit you.
So they tried everything with old Kurt. They put him with DDP and Medusa here at one point. Back when DDP was just
A manager
a manager, yeah, very tall manager.
with gigantic hair.
Yes. Yeah, he's 6'6", I think, but the hair made him 6'9". I want to say.
Whatever
And then
works.
Medusa's trying to keep up. Look at the hair on her.
No
Yeah.
kidding. That was like early
They
80s, wasn't it?
They kept Aquanet in business back then. So he did this for a bit. Then I had to show this picture just for the mustache alone when he started
no.
teaming up with Big Scott Hall.
Oh, big
Aw.
Scott Hall.
Back when they were trying to make him the AWA
Mag-
version of Magnum TA.
Magnum TA Jr.
But they had a long run with the tag titles, and then Scott and his mustache went away to Florida for greener pastures, and then, they wound up getting back together again in WCW, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
There he is. That might be my favorite world title belt. That late 80s AWA belt. It's just so cool. It's very shiny.
It's shiny.
The inmate belt was almost cumbersome looking. The big one that like Bockwinkel carried around. And this is something that we'll get into. I got a show announcement after we're done here, but yeah, this was his right at the tail end of his run in AWA. He was the world champion before he lost to Jerry Lawler, and then he moved on. And there he is. For my money, he is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I won't tell you you're wrong, but he's right up there.
I mean, Brett's up there too, but I gotta put Hennig over Brett.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he didn't go further. I do.
I don't either.
Hogan was
Oh.
there.
Well, Hogan, but
Yeah, then he got hurt. The back injuries.
Yeah.
those vignettes
If he-
though when he was in WWF, that was so.
Oh yes,
See,
yes.
the vignettes are great. See, AJ is thinking along the same lines as I was.
Oh,
I'm glad
honky
I'm not
tonk
terrible.
man. Oh,
He's
the
thinking
honky
the
tonk
same
man.
way I was.
I wish he was at the Expo, Menders. I
Oh,
would
me
love to meet
too.
the honky tonk man.
That'd been so fun.
But yeah, Perfect. I think 2-time IC champion. If he hadn't hurt his back, I think he would have been WWF champion, especially during the Brett years, like the early '90s.
Yeah.
Like maybe like sandwich him in between like Yoko. Maybe if Backlund instead of Backlund in '94, put it on Perfect.
Please. Sorry, I wasn't a big Backlund fan.
Not a big fan of Mr. Backlund.
Nope.
Well,
Was
he did
not.
make He did make lemons out of lemonade, Menders, because when he got hurt, they put him with this guy as the executive consultant to the Nature Boy in his tracksuit. And this is a great before and after here, Menders. This picture's from the Royal Rumble when Flair won the belt. Look at him all. He's got the robe on. He's all nicely coiffed and not sweating and
Not
in good shape.
not half insane.
Not half insane. Fast forward 59. No, I think it's an hour and 3 minutes later. There's the insane, and the hair's a mess. He's got the crazy eyes.
That's just his default now.
Yeah.
Like that's his
well,
default
that's hair.
setting right now. It's just him being absolutely insane all the time.
Yeah. So he came back. He got healthy again. Had a cup of coffee with Vince. Then he went to WCW, and this is the biggest what if I have for WCW, and that's this. I wish he would have stayed with the Horsemen.
Yeah.
Because he would have been a perfect Horseman when Double A retired. Just he had the style, he had the legacy, he had the promo, because Mongo's not going to carry a promo in that group.
No.
I love Mongo, but yeah, he was kind of the meathead of the team, But good thoughts to Mongo also, he's fighting, but he's got the ALS going, so it's weird. It's weird seeing him nowadays, but yeah, I digress. Back to good thoughts. So yeah, so Kurt Double A does the really cool retirement speech, passes his spot to Kurt, and yeah, AJ's not wrong. She's not wrong, but so Perfect joins the Horsemen. They go into War Games, which we'll talk more about War Games tomorrow, Minders. But then all of a sudden, the big Russo-esque swerve, and he joins the NWO, where he did not fit. I don't think he fit in the NWO.
No. Nope.
I mean, I think the world of Perfect, he is not the cool hip guy in this group.
No. He wasn't NWO. Yeah, not storyline for them, not at all.
No. So enters into the feud with Flair. There he is wearing the robe on his first Nitro, I think, after he joined. I mean, did he age?
It just looks weird.
He just became like a tertiary NWO member,
He did.
like Vincent or Scott Norton or
Stevie Ray.
Ray.
But my question is, did he age? I mean, he looks exactly the same here in 1990, say 98, as he did in 1988. Like, take that picture compared to this.
Cocaine's a heck of a drug, Mark.
That's what I've heard.
Well, and laughter probably kept him going for a long time too, since he ribbed everybody. So.
Oh yeah. And then there's also hanging out with this guy. There he is, him and Ravishing Rick. They were both from Robbinsdale, so they grew up together. And then they teamed up a lot in WWF too, on Survivor Series shows and all that. And Rude's another one of those. If he hadn't gotten hurt, then imagine those two as a tag team.
Right.
It would have been so good. But they were quite the pair, and but after the NWO is over with, and we have this, I can imagine Barry cackling right now looking at this picture. The West Texas Rednecks, even though only Perfect was not from Texas, but he was in the West Texas Rednecks.
Right.
Was that in TNA?
No, this is WCW.
That was WCW.
Oh, that's right. It was Wyndham and
Hennig, Barry and Kendall Wyndham, and Bobby Duncombe Jr.
What does their shirt say? Rap and crap?
Rap is Crap World Tour 99.
Rap is crap. Okay.
That was the song, too.
Yep.
They had a music video, Minders. I'm sure you remember.
I probably do. It's been a minute.
I've tried to forget. It's not good.
Were any of them?
No.
There was Coach Buzz Stern. He was something.
Who?
Coach Buzz Stern at the end of WCW. It was Glacier's last gimmick.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
he was.
Gary, where were you? We needed you on the gimmicks.
Yeah, you missed out on our gimmick list.
He was
Coach Tuesdays.
He was Coach Buzz Stern at the end, the same time that Rotunda was doing the Varsity Squad.
Oh, but they brought back the
Like,
Varsity
yeah,
Club. Okay.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I think Mr. Perfect is a very suitable addition to the Hall of Fame there. So kudos to him. And we're kind of, I know Gary, I know you're tired, and we just got just a little bit more business to tend to before we let you go here, Gary, because cue the not quite Devontae Knox music
Not
for
quite.
the Top 10 Tuesday. So, Menders, I kept you in the dark today about what the
You
topic
did.
was.
I have no idea what the topic is.
So it's kind of topical, since we were talking about the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Its close resemblance to the Big Gold, which we all agree is awesome looking.
Hmm.
Our topic today: greatest WWE World Heavyweight Champions 02 to 14. This is only the guys that held the Big Gold, though, not the WWE champions.
Okay.
So that's our starting from September when Triple H was awarded the belt by Bischoff. So like not when like The Rock was the WCW champion during the invasion. So that's my guidelines.
Okay.
All right. With that being said, wake up, Gary.
I'm awake.
All right, just making sure. Just making sure. All
Just
right.
Get it. Come on.
All right.
Yeah, gotta go.
All right. Number 10, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. This was my favorite run of his. He was so legit here. Like he just wanted, like you thought he just wanted to hurt people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, his Hall of Pain run.
His
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
yes, the
Him
Hall of
and
Pain.
Big Show having really good matches for two
Yeah.
guys that shouldn't have been able to
Yeah.
do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And also, damn good promo during that time. He could cut a really good heel promo back then.
Yeah.
I remember watching the when he beat Randy Orton for the world title. I was watching with Dustin at my house in Tilton on the pay-per-view. But it kind of got lost in the Punk beating Cena and running to his refrigerator later in the night. But I digress. All right, number 9, sentimentally maybe my favorite, King Booker.
Aw, Book.
You know, the last 2 or 3 of these lists, we've had one ridiculous gimmick for Booker T after another.
It's kind
Because
of
I
nice that
believe
he's
the
on
last-
a different list. Yeah.
Yeah, the last episode he was G.I. Bro,
Yeah.
and then for bringing the King with that ridiculous British accent of his,
Yeah.
which was, and I'm saying ridiculous with love because I was laughing my ass off every week when he'd come out. Coming out, putting over Kevin Federline's rap album as a treasure. Got Regal like as his town crier.
Did you go over Hugh Morris's gimmick in the MIA?
Oh, I sure did.
Oh, we did.
We had the whole group. Made
The whole
it
group
into that
was in
list.
there.
Did you go into why he stopped being Major Erection and became General Erection?
Well, not erection, just erection. That was the last
Erection,
name.
yeah.
Because
he-
they didn't want to say he had a major, huge erection.
No, it's because he threw a fit because he thought he wasn't high enough ranked in the group.
Oh,
So they literally they made him general, even though it made no sense.
well, Van Hammer.
you know.
Van Hammer was Private Stash
Yeah,
but he thought he should be Major Stash,
yeah,
even though they already had major guns.
yeah.
Tightly buck with the big hands. The
AJ.
Lieutenant
All hail
Loco
King
and Corporal
Booker.
Cajun, not to be forgotten.
Corporal Cage.
Lash LaRue.
Oh,
Oh,
double L.
Lash. That's right. With heads the sideburns to match, They have the L-shaped sideburns. We're getting off on a tangent, and
Yeah,
I'm going to
let's-
stop to it. All right, so King Booker, number 9. Number 8, I put John Cena on here. He had 2 or 3 runs with that belt, and not bad either. He came back from his broken neck and beat Jericho for it. He won it at Mania.
He got it off Edge.
he got it off Edge, and then he beat Alberto for it later on, I think, before they unified him with Thornton's belt.
I cheated. I read the belt.
Oh, yeah. I think this was from WrestleMania because there was a three-way
Yeah.
with him and Big Show. Lazy booking, as they say.
As they say.
But yeah, it's hard not to have a world title list without John Cena in
I
some form or
guess.
fashion.
Yeah, I guess.
Was
never a Cena fan.
Yeah, hey, he has the most world titles of anybody in WWE history.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, Ric Flair only had 2.
Yeah. Ugh, okay, move on.
All right, number 7. It's Gary's favorite wrestler, CM Punk. CM, I told you so, Punk.
The only reason I like Punk now is because I can just rub it in people's faces. They're like, he's never coming back to wrestling because he'd made too big of a. I'm like, what are you talking
about? He's just counting the money.
Work.
He's getting paid. He's getting paid to stay home.
It's a work. I don't understand. But on top of that, I did actually enjoy the dog collar match with MJF.
You know what? So did I.
The build up to that was really good. Him coming out to his old, although a lot of people didn't quite understand it. I just love that. I love AFI, and I love that song. So I was like, oh.
I wish that would have been his regular music in AEW. Cult of Personality is too predictable, you know.
Well,
it's synonymous with him now. I know.
I think if he goes heel or something, he should go back to that. Like,
I agree.
But
I brought back the
I was
trunks.
I was short the beginning up a little bit, and just so it kind of popped a little sooner. But I am a entrance music snob, though, just because I.
Oh yes. Oh, I know. In a good way. I'm not knocking it. I'm the same way.
I'm big on entrance music to me as when you enter, like within the song. Like I hate people who come out at the wrong time.
Yes,
and like they'll never quite hit their mark, and it drives me insane. It's like, hey, that's not the part of the song you should be coming out in, because that's not you're in the middle of the build. Well, why are you showing up in the middle of the build?
Right.
Anyway, yes, CM Punk.
Yes, 3 times, 2 cash-ins, and then he beat Jeff in a ladder match before they just jobbed him after the Undertaker.
Jeff.
Neither here nor there, but so yeah, Punkers number 7. Number 6, I got Big Dave. And speaking of not hitting your cue on the entrance music, Gary, when he would cue the pyro with the machine guns at the wrong point in the song, it drove me nuts every stinking time.
That's when he had to throw the grenade too. So
well, yeah, but he did it. He did it in sync with the pyro, but the pyro came in at the wrong time in the song.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, these are the things, Minders, that bother me and Gary as professional musicians.
I can understand that.
Oh, I'm just a musician. I'm not.
Well, you're a singer.
I'm a singer.
You're a singer.
Well,
yeah, he had a good run though. He might have had my favorite build up to the world title with Triple H before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Just the way they did that, and I thought it was really done really well. It's one of those slow burns that we like so much because it was almost a year in the making.
I liked his run there right before he quit. Like I thought.
When he turned heel.
I thought that was probably his best work.
It was pretty good.
He
looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
He looked like an idiot, but yeah, the work was good. But yeah, so Batista's number 6. Number 5, we're going to stay with the whole evolution theme here.
Randy.
We got the Viper. That is his first win when he beat Benoit at SummerSlam there. We got to hold it for a cup of coffee before Hunter wanted it back.
Yeah.
And, But then when he got it back in like 09 was it?
That sounds right.
08? No, it was 07.
07.
No. I
Hold
can't
on,
keep track.
Bari will probably correct
Bari
you.
will correct us. But at the end of the 2000s, he got it back, and then he had a really good run with it.
Yeah.
The years are kind of foggy on me a little bit. If I had more time to research, because not that I had 2 weeks or anything to do this.
That's another guy I didn't start liking until around the pandemic era. Was Orton.
Oh yeah.
I never
Really?
liked Randy Orton. Couldn't.
Oh, I loved.
I've always been a big fan.
He was so slow, like with everything. Like he had so many rest holds, and I know he's smooth, but it was always the same. It was almost moves of doom, but he didn't have anything. But like now he's actually showing, like he started showing something. Character. Charisma. Like it wasn't just that stone cold thing. It's just he did.
Yeah. Riddle was good for him.
Yeah.
See, now I actually was at the SmackDown when Randy Orton debuted.
So was I.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me you were.
I was there.
I was
He beat
there
Bob
too.
Holly.
Yup.
I was there.
They had that awkward backstage with him, Vince, and Stacy Keibler.
Yep. Because that was when Edge and Kurt Angle were feuding.
I was there in
so
Indy
good.
for Rey Mysterio's debut.
Cool.
I don't remember if it was Raw or SmackDown, but they
SmackDown.
did the cage match and he jumped off the top. And
yeah, I think he beat Chavo that night, didn't he? Ironically,
might have been Chavito.
Chavo, he's been
running this track. He's been working a lot lately.
Yeah. Also, kind of covering his ass a little bit too. Maybe?
A little bit. Oh, did you see AJ's comment?
Oh, hang on. Oh, okay, yeah. I like Viper when he was an evil bastard, kicked everyone in the head, and he had legacy. Whatever happened to those guys? Well, Ted Jr. ain't gonna be back anytime soon.
Nope.
He's got some other business to tend to.
Is he a preacher now, or what's he doing?
He's a criminal
jail.
now.
He's a criminal.
You know that thing Brett Favre got in trouble for?
Brett Favre,
whatever.
Favre.
Yeah.
But Ted DiBiase Jr. is caught up in that too. Like it's like fraud and money laundering.
Like $2 million.
It's like it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Because he didn't have as much money as Brett Favre.
Yeah, that guy.
Who is somehow still not in jail and is actually trying to sue Pat McAfee for for
everything.
Yeah.
Even though it's a freedom of press issue, number one.
And
number two, he didn't tell any lies.
No, he wasn't lying about anything.
But I digress.
Well,
Gary, we fell on another tangent.
Yeah.
Oh, Bari's clearing it up. 3.9 million to Mississippi. That's almost how much Vince made off of the sale.
Almost.
Well, not really. But, all right, back to the issue at hand here, Gerald, because we're at 2:15 almost right now, so we're gonna get you out of here in a timely fashion. Number 4.
There he is.
Yeah, you got to go Undertaker for number 4.
Baker.
The Thunderbaker.
It's the Thunderbaker, yeah.
At least he wasn't the Underfaker.
The Biker Taker.
I like Biker Taker. But, Biker Taker's my favorite Taker.
Biker Taker is?
Yeah, because he's most realistic.
He had the best entrance music because it was so dumb.
What? Not rolling.
Rolling.
No, the one where it's like, it was like something.
My Way.
Badasses
kicking assholes' asses.
That one, yeah.
Then it's like asshole.
That's right up there with the American Males theme.
That was his theme music. It was awful. No, that was after they burned through Rollin' and they burned through
American Badass.
American
Badass. Yeah. Didn't he have My Way too for a while?
That was a WrestleMania theme. That was Taker's theme.
That was awesome.
Big Red's theme was awful.
Yeah.
I digress though. All right, we're to our top 3 here.
All right.
Number 3, it's your favorite guy, Menders.
Oh God.
Chris Jericho, but this is back when
This
He
is
was
when I
awesome.
liked Jericho. I would say this is back when I did like Jericho.
This is when he had the suit and the short hair and was using the big words.
He still
he
had
was
a
just-
chest.
He still had a chest. Yeah, look at that guy. He never was the most yoked fella, but he was
No.
in shape.
Well, he tore something at some point. Like same thing that happened with Kofi.
Yeah, that was definitely best in the world, Jericho. That's when
Yeah.
I was okay with Jericho.
Yeah. When they had to find a creative way to get the belt off of Punk without beating him.
Yeah.
Best Nth World Jericho. I'm just kidding there. All right. So, but yeah, multiple championships. Also was WCW champion during the invasion, but that doesn't count toward this. Technically, the first guy to hold this belt is the World Heavyweight Championship, I think, because it's when he beat The Rock and Austin in the same night.
Was that when he actually became? What
World-
was it?
He was the undisputed champion.
Undisputed champion. Yeah.
But he was carrying both belts, though.
Mm-hmm.
But that falls beyond our timeline because that wasn't the same gold belt that was in this picture here.
Right.
Because that one has the logo on it, the original one. The one that I have didn't have the WWE logo on there. But yeah, I think a very worthy number 3 there. Number 1 and number 2, I could have gone back and forth on which one was which.
Okay.
So it's kind of more of a 1 and 1A. But for,
1 and 1A. Okay.
But for the purposes of this list, number 2, gotta throw Edge on there.
Well, I wasn't. Okay.
Edge was almost synonymous with this belt. Him and
Yes,
the
he
guy
was.
number 1 were both the guys most synonymous with this big gold belt. So good back then.
Yes.
I was lukewarm on Edge, like Brood Edge and like Invasion Edge when he was the Intercontinental Champion and all that. When he came back in 2004 from his neck surgery, that's when I started really digging what he was doing. And then
When he became rated R.
when he became rated R, when he stopped doing the shit with Lita, and he was just the big gold belt guy, I'm talking like 2007, I think. I think that's when he cashed in and won the world title from Undertaker on SmackDown.
Okay.
And then after that, he was always kind of in the hunt for that title.
Yeah.
For years until he retired. And he retired as champion.
Yeah, he did.
Actually gave up that belt and retired. So yeah, he's definitely got to be high up on that list there. Plus, he had a cool look with the trench coat. He wears the trench coat better than Brock does.
No kidding.
Yeah,
He ordered
Edge-
Undertaker off of Walmart. Come on now.
Brock needs a bigger duster.
every time I think of Edge now, and it's because of the Edge and Christian podcast, where they had like the impersonation contest, and the guy came on as Stone Cold, and it's just like, better shut up before I drop you on that stack of dimes you're calling neck.
Did you ever watch
I
the
love-
EMC show that Totally Reeks of Awesomeness on the network?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you see when they did the Goonies
Yes.
parody
Yep.
with Sean Mooney in his pants?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but it was
Ed
awesome.
Funaki is Data.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did a
God.
Kill Bill parody too with Beth as the bride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually pretty well done. But the show was ruined for me when they put Tommy Dreamer in the kiddie pool covered in baby oil. That was just off-putting.
See-
Tommy.
Tommy.
Don't look at me, Gary.
That's like one of my favorite stories ever. Like Stone Cold on the cross, being raised up and he's trying to act tough, and Christian's like, "Don't look at me." It's like, wow, long. Playing the game.
Ah.
If
Yeah.
you can't have fun at work, then what's the point?
I used to listen to ENC podcast all the time too. Oh my
So did I.
gosh.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yes.
I was bummed when they took it off.
Yeah, that sucked.
No, they had to come back to work.
Yeah, I
so
know.
Edge had to go film Vikings or whatever it was.
What sucks is I was looking to start listening to it again because it'd been so long, but like the section, I can't find the section before they switched companies. They switched to like the bigger podcast company,
Oh yeah.
and like
things
all the episodes before that are gone and off
that sucks.
everywhere. So
Edge actually read one of my questions on the
Oh,
podcast
really?
once. Yeah. I
Nice.
asked the Mount Rushmore of NXT.
Ooh,
And they actually
Good
went through it. I was
nice.
impressed.
Nice. I've had a couple questions read on Pritchard's podcast, but I forget what they were. I think I asked if they ever thought about having the Mountie ride to the ring on a horse. And he said they had, but they couldn't figure out the logistics because the aisle was so slippery.
Yeah.
That's the perfect Mark Redmond question. Like, if you had to like distill down Mark's questioning of things,
Right?
that's it. Just like it's like, this global warming is going on, and Mark's just sitting there. He's really toiling away, and he's like, you know what? Wonder why the Mountie never rode down on a horse. That is.
These are the things that cloud my mind, Gary.
This is every single third wheels practice when we're in the middle of.
Because I've always got wrestling on the TV on mute.
And he's just every once in a while he'll just stop strumming his guitar and he's just watching. And it's like 1985 SummerSlam.
A lot of title main events.
Yeah.
The occasional WrestleMania. Gary, we've flown onto another tangent. So let's.
Yep.
The cat has informed me that we're taking too long, so we're going to get to number one here. Or kayfabe kitty Noodles Redmond has been in my ear most of this episode. You saw her.
I was say Noodles has been there most of the night.
Yeah. All right, so number one, it's kind of an obvious number one after who else has been on the list.
There he is.
There he is, the Game, Triple H. Officially the first World Heavyweight Champion of this incarnation from 2002. And, honestly, he was the only guy for 3 or 4 years that was really worthy to hold the belt.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a lot of, they put him with Bubba Ray and Booker and Goldust, guys like that. And Booker could have worked. I mean, I get why they didn't, but then it wasn't until they got Benoit in there to win the belt. And AJ referenced, I can't believe Redacted didn't make the list. I gotta But yeah, because it was Benoit did it, then they tried Orton, but then I guess Orton wasn't getting over. I guess Orton wasn't getting over as a babyface, so they put it back on Triple H. Oh, Barry, shame on you, Great Khali.
Shame on you, Barry.
But yeah, up until Batista, they didn't have anybody that really got over with the belt, and that was in 2005.
Yeah.
Triple H was kind of the opposite of what I was talking about earlier. Like, he knew exactly how to make a regular entrance. Had an amazing entrance. Came out at the right time. Spit water at the right times.
Had the
missed
cues.
it. But if you ask him to do a special entrance at a pay-per-view, it was always the dumbest Kenny Omega looking thing I've ever seen.
At least 3 different songs in each one.
Yeah. One was with like a Terminator one or something.
One was a Terminator one. One was like the Pharaoh. He came up with the throne.
Yeah.
It was like Sasha, Alexa, and Charlotte were his ladies in waiting kind of
like
thing.
the only good one was probably the one where he came up dressed like Conan. That was
it was awesome. That was my favorite one. The one in Chicago.
But every other one was just awful. Like, he just never ever hit one out of the park.
No, he couldn't have, AJ. We only went to 2014.
No, he had it in 2011.
Oh, did he have it in 2011?
Yeah, because he dropped it to Sheamus in 18 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of a short run. That's why he didn't make the list.
Gotcha.
I could have put Sheamus on there if I wanted to.
Yeah, you could have. Could have put Shambo on there.
Seamus, as
Seamus
Cornette calls him.
We call him Shambo.
I got you. Let's see. So, Gary, if you need to get out of here, I will let you go. But that's got a little bit more business to deal with here before we go. We got to pay the bills and everything.
Yeah. I got to get going. I got to go check on the parents. So
yes. You do what you got to do, my friend.
All right.
We will see you soon. Hopefully in 2 weeks. We get you back.
Good seeing you guys.
All right.
See you,
buddy.
Gary.
Later.
And
Oh,
done.
Gary. Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Mic
great.
drop. Yeah, okay,
Mic
so
drop.
AJ said 2012. Yeah, it was basically from like November of 2011 through WrestleMania in 2012.
Okay.
But
Well, see, there
digressing.
was a while there that I quit watching, and
Uh-huh.
then I didn't pick it back up till 2014. So there was a little bit where I didn't watch. So
Yeah. All right, so got a little more business to deal with. Gonna pay some bills, and then I got an announcement to make here, Menders, for the network.
Okay.
So for starters, ProWrestlingTees.com/JTRPod for Jumping the Rail Podcast Network T-shirts, all the good stuff, that we talk about it all the time. Gary says it's a work.
Yep.
That's why our Gary was selling. I'm working on another one for Gary with the bearded dragon. I think I showed you the template, Menders.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Del Rio, shut up, Bari.
So yeah, these are the ones that you see on ProWrestlingTees.com. You can go through, check them out, see what you like
House
there.
fight.
House fights draw money. It's true. And our iHeart series, the iHeart
Yep.
Heels. That's the one you got signed by MJF, Menders.
That is the one I have signed by MJF.
Yes.
I hadn't
yes.
decided if I wanted to take that one or the. I hate lazy booking, but I didn't want to offend MJF. So.
If you ever meet Corny, you need to take the iHeart Lazy booking.
Oh, I will, but I doubt I'll ever get to meet him.
You may. You never know if he's nearby.
Nah,
he doesn't fly.
He doesn't like people.
Who does though?
That's true.
Yeah, you got the network. So all this good stuff's on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Oh, there's our 0-1 shootout stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Then BrainbusterTees.com/other/JTR-podcast-network. Got some other cool stuff here: hoodies, baseball shirts, T-shirts, fanny packs, hats, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff there. So check that out.
Get your Giddy Mindy shirt.
Get a Giddy Mindy shirt. Yeah, if you listen to the 0-1 shootout, we got Giddy Mindy and all kinds of cool stuff there. So go check that stuff out for us. Then also, I want to make a programming announcement here, because after chatting with our buddy Bari, we have decided to launch a YouTube series coming up. We haven't decided on a date yet, but it's going to happen. It won't be a podcast. It's just going to be on the Jumping the Rail YouTube channels. And it's going to basically be focused on championship belts, history, designs, all that kind of stuff. And
you two will be in hog heaven.
Yeah, there you see it there. Gold Rush with Rev and Bari. And because we're both giant belt nerds, and it should be fun. We will, like, if we get more, we'll show them on the air. We'll talk about them, all that stuff. And
Bari better have all of his behind him.
He may. If I had more shelving behind me, all I have is a curtain.
Yeah.
So I can't really do that on my end. But yeah, so it should be fun. If you like title belts, we'll just kind of do our thing, just kind of mark out a little bit on these and what we like about them, what we don't.
They do mark out on them.
But so yeah, just keep an eye on the socials. We'll put it up for sure when we have a date for our first episodes. And yeah, so hopefully you'll check it out and you'll enjoy it. And Menders, I don't think I have anything else to deal with today, unless you have anything you want to add.
Well, make sure you catch us tomorrow when we get ready for War Games on the 0-1 Shootout podcast at 5 o'clock.
Yes. At 5 o'clock, we will be joined by the chairman of the Lowlifes in 0-1 USA, one Jordan Perry. Because if you haven't got your tickets yet, 0-1 USA in Decatur, the War Games show on Saturday, it should be a lot of fun. Devon Dudley's going to be there.
Devon Dudley's going to be there. We're actually going to meet and greet him this time, though, right?
Yeah, I would choose to meet and greet him.
I am going to do the same.
Nice. And I don't know, there might be some other cool stuff happening, but we have to find out for sure before we make that known.
Yeah.
You can also get your picture taken in the cage on Saturday.
Well, everybody else can.
After the show, we'll get you in there somehow.
No thanks.
Just go over the top, you don't have to put
I'll just climb over the top. That sounds like a great plan.
Show me the flaws in that plan. I'm kidding.
One, I'll be in a wheelchair at the show. That could be a problem.
That's true. That could be a problem. Okay, but yeah, so tomorrow night, 5 o'clock p.m. Join us on the 0-1 Shootout with Jordan Perry talking about war games. And then we'll be back here in 2 weeks with another episode of Jumping the Rails. So for the departed bearded dragon, Gary Vasselio, and for Menders, this is Reb saying life is hard, work stiff, and we will see you later.